Welcome to the channel and welcome to this 1,750 point match play game between Tau and Tyranids. Today on the channel we visit Kalek 4. Now Kalek 4 was once an Imperial outpost, but has been under the sway of the Tau for a very long time. The Tau got here during the second sphere of expansion. So the humans that live on this planet have long since joined the greater good, and they thought everything was safe and everything was snuggly and nothing could ever go wrong until Hive Fleet Kraken turned up. So my Hive Fleet is going to be rampaging across this battle grid, trying to destroy as many Tau as I can, and as we're going to see in the Tau army, there's quite a few human auxiliaries in there as well. This is a 1750 point game of cleanse and capture. That's the one where you get 3 Maelstrom cards a turn every turn, and the Tyranids will be deployed on this table edge here, Dawn of War deployment, rampaging through this outpost. The Tau are on the other table edge over there. There's 2 objectives up in their deployment zone, 1 in the Tyranid deployment zone, and you'll notice that most of the objectives are down that end of the battle grid there, so that end is going to get very nasty. Up this end, no objectives at all. So maybe potential for some flanking opportunities around the edges, or maybe it's just going to get thick and furious and nasty down on the left side of the battle grid. So I'll be taking command of the Tyranid force. It's been a while since Hive Fleet Kraken have been on the channel. And taking command of the Tau is Sorcerer Dave. Say hi, Sorcerer Dave.
Hi, Sorcerer Dave.
Hi, Sorcerer Dave. Dave has come down with his Tau, and it's the first time you've brought your Tau on the channel. You've been down on the channel quite a few times.
Yep.
Familiar with Tau?
This is my second game with them. Please, don't be too harsh.
So nothing can go wrong whatsoever. Everything's going to be fine on Kalek 4, just like the Tau here. Sorcerer Dave's got a YouTube channel, got way more subscribers than me. Go check it out. Sorcerer Dave also puts up Warhammer 40k battle reports. Also does Twitch streams where he does Skyrim and video gaming, Twitch streaming and things like that. What are you playing right now?
Right now?
Yes.
I've just come back from a bit of a break actually, but right now we're starting Fallout New Vegas on Twitch.
Okay.
Next week.
So by the time this comes up then, Fallout New Vegas will be on there?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Maybe. We'll see.
I played that game.
I don't really schedule this stuff.
You don't schedule this stuff, it just happens when it happens. Brilliant. So Sorcerer Dave on Twitch, watch Fallout New Vegas plus other Warhammer 40k battle reports. Oh, another shout out as well. This battle mat is from urbanmats.com. This one's called Desert? I don't know which one's called. And also this pre-painted terrain that you see all around is also from urbanmats.com. So big shout out to them. I like this stuff. You can just get it out of the box, chuck it down, jobs are good. And what we're going to be doing here is any units, infantry units that are wholly within these rubbly pieces will count as cover. Imagine these rock piles are much more high and broken and disjointed than we've made them look. So yeah, +1 cover on any of these rocky places. Large line of sight terrain blocking pieces in the middle of the table like you must do in games of Warhammer 40k. And I think that's about it. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 1750 points worth of Tyranids. It's a battalion detachment and a spearhead. I want to say spearhead, that's the one with all the heavies in it, which gives me 9 command points to play with. Hive Fleet Kraken, roll 3d6 when you advance, pick the highest, and they can fall back and charge. And as you can see, I bought all the bugs. I knew I was going up against Tau today, so I thought I'd bring lots and lots of bugs, because Tau have lots and lots of guns, and what we should see is death. Glorious death. Death all over the place. And I do like a nice high big body count army. Right, in the HQ slots these 3 are all neurothropes, but I put a different model down for this one to signify that he's my warlord. 3 neurothropes. This guy's got synaptic linchpin as his warlord trait, which means synapse goes out to 18 inches. Basically bugs that are in synapse range don't have to take morale tests, which is nice. He's got the horror, he's got catalyst, so onslaught. This one's got catalyst. And then I brought a Broodlord, and the Broodlord has got a relic called the Maw Claws of Tyranid. He's got some claws on him, relic claws. If I kill a model in close combat, he'll get to reroll to hit for the rest of the game. So those are my HQs coming up the table. Oh, the Broodlord's got Psychic Scream as well as Smite. Neurothropes all have Smite as well. And then we've got a unit of 25 Hormagaunts, 2 units of 20 Termagants, 16 Gene Stealers. Like I say, lots and lots of bugs. I bought a unit of Raveners because they are a bit naff, but they're quick. They move 12. So an opportunity to zip and steal objectives here every now and then. And some Venom Thropes for their bubble. And then my shooting in the backfield is basically a Tyrannofex with a Rupture Cannon and an Exocrine with his Bioplasmic Super Cannon. And 2 Screamer Killers, which will form 1 squad once they've been deployed and split off all over the place. So lots of bugs charging towards the tower lines, lots of psychic presence, some shooty in the backfield. I imagine that lots and lots and lots of these bugs are going to die. But because we're playing a Maelstrom game, it's about scoring these objectives right. It's about getting the points. So it should be a very interesting matchup. And this is 1750 points worth of Tau, the defenders of Kalak 4. There's 2 battalions here, giving Sorcerer Dave 13 command points. And look, we've got some humans mixed in who've joined the greater good. Maybe for a couple of generations now, because Kalak 4 was subsumed by the Tau Empire during the second sphere of expansion, which is very nice. So, some humans. If I was playing Imperium, they'd be called traitors. And what's going on with this dude here, Dave?
Oh,
what's that there?
You noticed that, did you?
Yes, there seems to be a Space Marine.
He's got something stuck on his shoe. He'll get rid of it eventually, I'm
I
sure.
wish I'd have brought the 13th today. You know this guy's going to get accidentally dropped off the table a couple of times.
Yeah, you probably.
That is a brilliant bit of modelling there. We're going to have to get the Tau back on with the 13th because I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Yes, brilliant stuff. So 2 battalions. What Tau Sept thing are you using?
Right, well, so we're using the Tau Sept rules today. I'm still in that process of figuring out which ones I like the best, if you see what I mean. But I'm using the Tau ones because at the minute it's easy to remember, and also I really like them. I've used them once before.
Right.
And
what does it do?
Basically, as long as a unit is within 6 inches of another unit.
Yes.
Or it's using the For the Greater Good ability, which allows you to add supporting Overwatch fire from other units when someone gets charged. You hit on 5s and 6s in Overwatch instead of 6s.
Okay. Does that work on the suits as well?
It works on absolutely everything.
Works on the Riptide and everything.
Yeah.
So basically, if I charge you and there's another unit within 6, you can Overwatch on 5s.
Yes.
And I'm going to be doing a lot of charging.
It's very powerful because it basically allows Tau to kill stuff in the opponent's turn quite efficiently.
Yes.
So
there's going to be a lot of death.
Especially since these guys, when you get up close to them, they pump out a ridiculously large number of shots as well.
Okay, so those are Fire Warrior Troopy guys.
Yes.
And then these are 2... What are these guys?
Right, so basically I'm running these guys as Fireblade Cadre Commander guys. It's some combination of words of that nature. I'm still new with these guys, but essentially what these guys are, they are commanders, sort of like our battlesuit guy here.
Yeah.
But the difference with these guys is they... Instead of joining up with a battlesuit cadre and jumping into a suit and doing the thing, the Fireblades are the guys who are like, nah, I'd rather stick with the infantry if it's all right by you.
Yes.
And so I've got this cadre Fireblade here. He's the guy who's kind of leading all of the Tau Fire Warriors you see here.
Tau Fire Warriors.
But obviously you've noticed there's lots of humans here, which is particularly appropriate today because I imagine the reason the Tau are on this planet in such military force, partly to interdict these Tyranids, but also because they're probably recruiting more humans.
Yeah.
So if you're newish to Tau lore and stuff like that, the Tau make use of a lot of alien auxiliaries in their armies, most of which you don't actually see on the tabletop, but they do exist in the narrative.
And it's funny that the humans are the alien to the Tau.
Yeah.
So the humans are the alien auxiliaries here.
Humans to the Tau are very strange because they view us as being this ancient species that is...
Stupid.
Very, oddly stupid considering how old they are. But
so he's another cadre Fireblade as well.
That's essentially what he is. He's leading the human contingent of this army. He's leading the Tau contingent of the Fire Warriors.
Right.
And
they give you extra shots or something.
Basically, if we're in rapid fire range, we get an extra shot with our rapid fire weapons.
Rapid fire, not full range.
No, not full range.
Okay, there's going to be a lot of rapid firing anyway. I'm going to be coming up close.
So Yeah, this guy's in charge of them.
Yes.
So basically, what you're seeing here is because Guevesa don't have rules anymore. And that's what they call the Guevesa.
Yes.
I'm basically running them as fire warriors. So
nice.
they're fire warriors. They're fire warriors. This 9-man squad here is a breacher team.
Right.
Because it made sense to me that the Tau would want to use humans as breachers because humans are a bit beefier and stronger than your average Tau.
Yeah, and they're not Tau, so
they're a bit more suited to close combat. So
yeah.
The guys themselves would probably be a mix of guys recruited from worlds that have belonged to the Tau for years, have grown up in the Tau Empire, but also they'll typically be led by guys who are Imperial Guard veterans that switch sides at some point for whatever various reasons that they keep to themselves.
Yes.
And
probably because of all the pension benefits and health benefits being part of the Tau.
Well, the thing about the Tau is you do eventually get to retire, unlike the Imperial Guards.
It's amazing. And they only live till they're like 40 or 50 years old.
Yeah, they age pretty quick. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've also got Pathfinders as well.
Yes, you need Pathfinders.
Those guys are useful. We've got tactical drones because you always need marker lights with the Tau.
Is that 2 squads of 5?
That is 2 squads of 4.
2 squads of 4. I can't count. Brilliant. An ethereal.
We got an ethereal, basically because I needed an extra HQ to make the 2 battalions work. Right. And
is he your warlord?
He's not my warlord.
No.
You could there narrative-wise, there's arguments for making the ethereal the warlord or not.
Yes.
The reality is ethereals, they can turn up and be like, right, I'm in charge now, or they can decide to be like, actually, no, I'm going to take a back seat and just sort of observe. Like
a commissar. So he's hanging out and just advising, and he's there for morale purposes.
He will be there either for morale purposes or quite frequently for their own shadowy purposes that the rest of them are not privy to learning.
Yes.
They work in mysterious ways, the ethereals.
Yes.
So that's probably why he's here. And today, this guy's taking a back seat. He's actually here as a replacement for my old ethereal, who basically he got Civitas caned.
Did he?
Yeah, he got
headbanger.
He got not specifically headbanger, but he got killed in such a hideous way.
Yes.
I could not justify ever bringing him back.
Yes.
So I had to get a new model done, and this is him. So
I appreciate the fact that you know that reference, because Civitas Kane, I'm never playing him again.
Yeah.
It was such a glorious death to have his head explode due to an orc psyker. I can't bring him back. So he's your replacement.
Yep.
Brilliant. And he's on a disc, right? So that means he can move a bit further.
Yeah, he can move 8 inches instead of 6, basically.
Cool. Did you give marker lights to your troop guys?
Right, yeah. So the sergeant guys, the chassis from each unit, they've got marker lights.
Okay.
The 2 fireblades have got marker lights each as well.
Nice. Oh yeah, warlord. So this guy's your warlord, the Cold Star.
Yeah, the Cold Star's going to be the warlord. I only have 1 Tau commander.
Right.
Here, I know that the fashionable thing is to take up to 3 of them, and give them 4 fusion blasters and then kamikaze attack.
Because you can only take 1 Tau commander per detachment.
Precisely,
and you've got 2 detachments, so you could have brought 2.
I could have brought 2. Problem is, when you dive into the narrative and stuff for the Tau, based on the latest codex, of course, I don't know if there's older stuff that contradicts this, there may be. Generally speaking, for a battle the scale of which takes place in your average game of 40k, particularly 1750 points.
Yes.
There really would only ever be 1 commander involved.
Yes.
It's 1 commander, and we're fighting at the cadre level here.
Yes.
You get levels above like contingent, which is several cadres all together.
Yes.
Which then you would have multiple commanders with.
Yes.
But having 2 in a battle this small, at least in this small section of the battle grid, just wouldn't make sense. So
no, I know what you mean.
All of it when you see these armies where you've got 3 Tau commanders, 2 of which are basically kamikaze attackers that just immediately die on the first turn.
No, we don't do that on Winter's SEO or DeploymentZone.tv. We don't do those sort of cheesy stuff.
It's not how we roll, so that's not how I'm doing it.
It's about the fun, it's about the narrative. God bless people who play that way, but I just want to have fun.
Having said that, he is very good.
Yes.
There's obviously a reason why people take as many of them as they can.
Yes.
So this guy in particular, he's got the Cold Star battlesuit.
Yes.
Which means he has a move of 20 inches. If he advances, he moves 40 inches instead.
Yes.
So he can leap all the way across the table.
Yes. Got a couple of shield drones with him.
Yep, got a couple of shield drones with him.
Warlord trait.
Warlord trait is through Unity, Devastation.
So that's Storm of Fire.
It's essentially Storm of Fire.
Yes.
Like for Space Marines, except you have to target a specific unit with it.
Relic on him?
Relic is going to be the Onager Gauntlet, which is essentially a big power fist.
Nice.
You can make 1 attack with it. It's strength 10, AP -4, damage D6.
Really? D6 damage?
Yeah.
Nice. So he can punch like a punchy thing.
If he ends up in close combat, he can make a single attack with it and probably evaporate whatever it is he punches with it. So
I like it.
He's also got the high capacity burst cannon. He's got a fusion blaster, missile pod, and a shield generator.
Nice.
So
he's got a shield generator as well as the shield drones.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so he should stay alive for a bit.
Shield generator is basically a 4+ invuln.
Yeah.
So
which can't be taken away, unlike the shield drones. I like it. So suits. Is this a unit of 3 and a unit of 5?
It is indeed.
Okay.
So we've got the unit of 3 slightly newer marks of suits, and then we've got the older ones. They're all rules-wise the same. They're all XV8s.
Yes.
But one of the nice things about Tau is that all of their older models are still preserved in the canon as earlier marks of suit that the Earthcast came up with. So I got some of the older ones and got the newer ones. Now, these guys are burst cannons, fusion blasters, shield generators.
Okay.
Guys in the back here, and he's got the Iridium battlesuit upgrade as well, which gives him a 2+ save.
Nice. So these shield generators on these, do they give the 4 up and bun on these as well?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Brilliant. I like it. Okay.
You take it instead of having a third weapon, which some would argue is
thing on his arm.
a better option is to have 3 weapons.
Does the shield generator work in close combat as well as shooty?
I believe so. Yeah.
We'll have to check.
We'll double check it, but these guys have not ended up in close combat to date so far. So.
Well, they've got the fly keyword, so they can jump back and still shoot, right?
Yeah, exactly. And all these big heavy weapons they have on them are assault weapons.
Yes.
So
nice.
They can move around and do whatever the hell they like.
Nice. Squad of 5.
Squad of 5 in the back again. Similar thing here. Now they don't actually have the shield generators modelled on them. I apologise for that.
Right.
I'm hunting around the bits market trying to find shield generators to bolt onto these guys.
Okay, so anyone got shield generators? Send them to Sorcerer Dave.
Yes, please.
So all your dudes have all got shield generators on.
Yeah.
So 2 guns instead of 3, shield generators instead of. I like it. Okay.
I'm sure some experts will tell me that's a bad idea.
Yes.
But from my perspective, Tau commanders, this guy in particular, they hate sort of
dying.
They hate dying. They hate unnecessary casualties.
Look, it's the internet. You'll get a bunch of people saying, "Oh, shield generators are the way," and you'll get a bunch of people saying, "Shield generators are definitely not the way."
Basically, we hate unnecessary casualties. So what we can do to preserve the lives of our battlesuit pilots, we will do. So we've given them all shield generators, which, to be fair, basically they have the stat lines of custodies when you give them a 4+ save.
Yeah,
I mean,
a couple of wounds.
The Iridium guys have the 2+ armor save.
Yeah,
everyone gets a 4+ invuln. They'll have 3 wounds, toughness 5.
They've all got 3 wounds.
Yeah,
have they?
They're quite beefy.
Nice, I like it.
I mean, you don't see them a lot like competitively because they're not very point efficient.
No,
they're actually quite good. It's sort of sometimes people compare them to Terminators, but the difference is these guys are actually still pretty good. It's just a bit expensive.
Yeah. Well, I think I've seen lists out there where people flood the field with crisis suits. So, like 3/4 of their army are crisis suits, and those lists, those battle reports, seem to do quite well because they're overwhelming then. But this is nice. I like it. It's good.
I brought a bunch of them, 3 units of them in the previous battle I did with these guys, and I was extremely pleasantly surprised by how much they can do.
Was that previous battle on Sorcerer Dave YouTube channel?
It was indeed, yes.
Okay, go check it out.
So you can go check that. You'll also see how the previous Ethereal died in that battle report. I won't spoil it for you, but if you like watching fishmen get squished, you'll enjoy that one.
Nice. And the bad Riptide.
Yeah, the Riptide. Never used it before. I've been told they're quite good.
Yeah, apparently it's the burst cannon is the one that it's the internet, so I'm saying the burst gun is supposed to be the one.
Yeah, it probably is. But
the gun has been improved since the Codex dropped this ion gun.
And you've got
shield drones. What are those?
Those are shielded missile drones. So it's like a shield drone, but it can shoot missiles.
Okay. Does this guy have a 4-up invuln as well?
He has a 5-up invuln.
Right.
But you can use the Nova charge on it to suffer a mortal wound, and then pick one of a bunch of bonuses for that turn. One of which is you can boost his invulnerable save to a 3+.
Okay. 3+?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Or you can massively boost his weapons damage output.
Basically, all your suits have got invulnerable saves on. And then you've got a bunch of little guys who can chuck down a lot of shots. There's no vehicles here, but this is a very interesting army. It looks slow, but the suits can jump in, right? They can be put in deployment and then drop down. And they can move quite quickly, so it should be a quite quick, nippy little army.
As I said, using the Tau doctrine today, the other one I would like to try out is the Violar one, which allows you to advance and fire rapid fire weapons normally.
Right.
Which suddenly makes all the fire warriors quite nippy.
Right, okay.
So, but today I'm opting for Tau because Well, because I've got lots of bugs swarming in my direction, and I'd like to be able to overwatch the crap out of them.
Yes,
so.
And it's only the second time you played Tau, so you're feeling around. So any ideas for list improvements or any ideas to play Tau better, please chuck them in the comment section below. I outnumber you about 3 or 4 to 1, so your Tau guns are gonna have to do some work.
I do have a lot of other units stashed away,
right.
But I wanted today to sort of basically take your bread and butter.
Yes.
Core of the Firecast, the backbone of the Firecast, which is Fire Warriors and Crisis Suits.
Perfect.
Essentially, and that's what 90% of the list is, with the exception of the old Riptide here. So no Stealth Suits, no Storm Surge, nothing like that. Just Fire Warriors and Suits like the olden times.
Like the old days. I like it. And just like the old days, this is going to be Teeth and Claws versus Guns. Let's go on to deployment. And the armies are deployed on the surface of Kalek 4. There is a dust storm in the distance as a splinter of Hive Fleet Kraken comes tearing across this desert towards the Tau lines. And this is where I put my armies. Basically, what I did is put the synapse, spread them all the way across the line, and the shooty guys together next to one of the objectives here, and then loads and loads of little bugs. And that's pretty much the top, down, and middle of the thought process that I had. The Raveners are in reserve because they can pop up on one of these objectives later on in the game. Remember, there's an objective there. There's 2 very close to my lines here. And then the other 3, one in that settlement over the far side. And the other 2 are down here close to the Tau lines. And as we can see, all the Crisis Suits are in reserve, coming down from Manta Strike, coming down from high orbit. The Riptide is anchoring the gun castle in the middle. And here we can see the human auxiliaries of this Tau set ready to defend their homeworld. And there's the other cadre Fireblade tucked in there next to the Ethereal on that objective there. Any thinking behind this, Sorcerer Dave, or just thought build the gun line, get ready to defend?
So, in the Tau Firecasts,
yes,
kind of Art of War, there are 2 main schools of thought. There are a bunch of others too. 2. But they're very, very minor. But there are 2 big ones that Commander Puretide came up with, and he's basically the Tau version of Sun Tzu.
Yes.
They're called Carry On and Montcar. Carry On is the art of the patient hunter.
Yes.
Montcar is the killing blow.
Right.
Now, a lot of Tau commanders, they tend to focus on one or the other.
Okay.
The Tau commander in this army today, he tries to balance it as best he can between both, because that's what Puretide originally intended.
Okay.
It didn't mean for you to focus on one over the other. So my battle plan today is essentially me attempting to evoke a balance of Carry On and Montcar. So Carry On is the patient hunter. That is the sit still, wait for the enemy to come to you, spring the trap.
And this looks like what this gun line is doing here.
Yes.
Nice.
And Montcar is rapid assault, punch them right in the face and completely obliterate them. It's the killing blow.
The killing blow.
So what we've got here is we've got all the infantry deployed down here, the Riptide as well.
Mm-hmm.
And leading all of this, you've got the 2 Fireblades and the Ethereal.
Yes.
And the commander himself, he's happy to leave this contingent in charge of, with these guys in charge of it. He trusts these guys with his life, the Ethereal in particular, but also both of these Fireblades. You'd think perhaps if you didn't know better,
would you really trust them?
That's the thing. You would think that they would treat the humans pretty badly, but the Tau actually, if you're an alien in the Tau Empire,
yes,
as long as you follow the greater good to the letter, you can actually rise up the ranks surprisingly high.
So once you submit to the ideology, you are part of the Tau. They are Tau.
They are considered part of the greater good.
Yes.
So it depends from individual to individual. There are some Tau, obviously, who take a very dim view of humans indeed.
Yes.
But this guy, he grew up with them.
He's not a racist.
No. He grew up with them. He views these guys as having great potential.
Okay.
In spite of their constant screw-ups, over their long history, he still thinks the human race is worth saving.
Okay.
Which is why his army always has a huge, sort of contingent of auxiliary humans like this.
Nice.
So he's got these guys down here taking charge of the battle as it is, and meanwhile, he and his battle suits are up in the Manta overhead, and he'll be in his battlesuit ready to launch. And he'll be monitoring the entire tactical situation being uplinked to him from these guys as the battle progresses. And then at the killing moment, the Montcar, the killing blow, They will arrive and they will punch the Tyranids hopefully right in the face and they won't be able to recover. That's the idea.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Now I've explained to you my entire strategy. I mean...
Well, there is that famous quote, isn't it? What's it? First plan doesn't... The enemy... What is that one about?
The plan never survives contact with the enemy.
That one. Something like that. I think it was Eisenhower or something. I was trying to be intelligent there, but completely failed. Anyway, I like your plan. My plan is come charging forward. I managed to drop before you, so we're going to do the chapter approved roll off. Let's grab some dice. Right, roll a dice, Sorcerer Dave. Let's see what you get. And you managed to get, I can't even see, that was a 5. That's nice. So I get +1 to this because I dropped before you. And I get a 3 +1 is 4. You're going to go first. Unless I manage to steal the initiative.
If I want to go first, however, is the question.
Interesting.
Because...
Want the swarm to get close to you?
Well, my lines of fire at the minute are not best, that's for sure.
That's true. Part
of me wants to see where the bugs are going to go before I start manoeuvring myself.
Yes. You're not reaching out and touching very much right now, actually, yeah.
The Fire Warriors have, well, with the exception of the breaches are at very, very close range. The Fire Warriors have a 30-inch range on their pulse rifles, which is not bad, strength 5, etc., etc. However, once you get into half range of them, the fire blades take effect.
Yes.
And suddenly, instead of firing 1 shot, they're firing 3 shots each.
Yes.
So really what I want to do is I want to get the bugs close enough so I can see the whites of their eyes and then let rip.
I don't have any... The only flaw in your logic is there's no white in my eyes. It's yellow. Animal yellow and bloodshot red.
Once we can see the horrible
eyes.
Horrible things masquerading as
eyes.
So
what you're saying is the Tyranids are going to go first.
And I might need to have a little think, but at the moment...
Let's have a cup of tea and think about it. Right, so Sorcerer Dave has had a think and...
We're going first.
Unless I try and steal. So let's try and steal. Stealing's bad, kids. Don't do this at home. And I get a 6. Deployment zone. .tv logo. That's the one. That's the 6. These dice available from deploymentzone.tv. Right. You wanted to go first because it would allow you to get more hits in before I got to your lines, but now the
essentially
Tyranids...
it would mean these guys have to hold off a little bit less before the battle suits arrive.
And now...
However, perhaps my first instincts were right. And
yes.
This is the Dice God's way of saying, actually, no, you were right the first time.
I prefer to think that High Fleet Kraken is fast, it's animal, it's a force of nature, and it cannot be stopped. Let's go on to Tyranids. Turn 1. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Secure Objective 3, which is deep within the tower lines. So the Hive Mind want to get there, but I'm not going to be able to get there yet. And devour, start eating through this biomass, kill something in the fight phase. I'm not going to be able to do that in turn 1 either. But Supremacy, get any 3 objectives for D3 points. That's possible. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase. I cannot secure Objective 3, which is down here, or devour any of these crunchy Tau units yet, but I can score Supremacy because I am on 1, 2, 3 objectives. And as you can see, there's been a lot of advancing. Basically, everything has pretty much advanced, except for the big bugs who have stayed still. These guys, I was conscious of the fact that if I pushed up too far, that Tau rapid fire at 15-inch range, and with the Cadra Fireblades in there, that would be a lot of shots coming out. So the Venom Thropes are strong along here, these 3, giving the -1 to hit to all of these units, and I made sure the closest unit of bugs are at least entirely within cover. So instead of a T-shirt save, they'll get a 5-up save. The Gene Stealers and the Brood Lord and the Carnifex is advancing, and lots of advancing. Basically the swarm powering forward, but aware that there is a scream in the air of engines overhead. And the Hive Mind is not stupid. One thing the Hive Mind is, though, is psychic. So let's go on to the psychic phase. This Neurothrope is going to cast the Horror on that unit of Pathfinders there, and that's a pass, so it's going to be -1 for them to hit, to light up something with their marker lights, and they're outside of 18-inch range for smiting. No smiting going on there. However, the Brood Lord and the other Neurothrope are in smite and psychic scream range, so let's try and smite away and get first blood. I'm going to both be firing through this gap and hitting that target there. So here is the Neurothrope, and that passes. This is D3 mortal wounds, and of course no psychic defense on the Tau.
Nothing at all.
You don't know what the warp is. And that does 1 mortal wound on that unit of Pathfinders. Fire Warriors there. And let's do, instead of a smite, let's do a Psychic Scream on the Brewlord, because my smite would be a 6 instead of 5 now, because it goes up for every cast. But he's got Psychic Scream as well, so I need a 5. And that passes another D3 mortal wounds for 1. So the Psychic power ripples out and only kills 2 Fire Warriors. Right, and now this Neurothropus Catalyst, so that's a 5-up ignore damage. Now I could put it on the Carnifex or this unit of little bugs that are out at the front, or maybe put it on one of my big shooty things back here. And I'm thinking about what I would shoot at. And I think I would definitely shoot at one of the Carnifexes, because when they get in there, it's going to be very dangerous. So let's put a Catalyst on that Carnifex there. And I think I need a 5. No, it's a 6. But Neurothropes get to re-roll Psychic tests of 1. There you go, Catalyst passes, so this Carnifex has got a 5-up ignore damage. That's the end of the Psychic phase. Now let's shoot the poultry guns that I have. So that Riptide absolutely must go. Spending a command point on Pathogenic Slime on the Tyrannifex with his Rupture Cannon, or 2 command points on Pathogenic Slime, increases the damage of these shots by 1. Let's fire at that. Now, these guys would hit on 4s. He stayed still, so he gets to fire twice, hitting on 4s with his Rupture Cannon. And I only get 2 hits. Sigh. Not going to buy a command point reroll yet. Just 2 hits, strength 10, toughness 7, wounding on 3s. And now I'm going to spend a command point reroll on that one. And I only get 1 wound. 1 wound, 1 5-up invulnerable save on him.
1 5-up invulnerable save, yes.
Yes.
If we fail this, there might be more stuff happening. Oh, so we
failed
failed that. Now,
yes.
Saving protocols is
Yes.
a thing. So these drones can
Yes.
fly in and intercept the shot before it connects with him.
How many drones? All of them?
You just, any nearby one. I'm going to pick one of these shield drones.
Okay.
Shield missile drones.
Okay.
And there's a very good reason for that, but I'll roll this first. 2+, yep. So, the drone takes a mortal wound.
Yes.
He takes no damage at all.
Right.
And because it's a shield drone, on a
Yes.
5+, it can ignore that completely.
Nice, okay.
So,
good luck.
There you go.
That's a 6. So
it did absolutely nothing.
3 command points and I did nothing. Right, so now I'm thinking maybe I should shoot the drones. So is this a unit of gun drones here?
Those are marker drones.
Marker drones, let's shoot at them with the Exocrine. He stayed still, so he's hitting on 3s and firing twice, 12 shots, looking for first blood, hitting on 3s. Now that's better. Strength 7, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. And that is 6 wounds at AP -3. What's your save on them?
Oh, probably don't get one.
Nice, that could be.
They don't have a 3+ save, so no.
First blood. I found more guns. The Carnifexes, they have assault guns as well, and they can both see that unit of 3. I did advance, so it's D6 shots for 4 shots, but I'll be hitting on 5s because I advanced instead of 4s. 1 hit, strength 7. That's a wound at AP -3. One of them just gets wiped out. And let's do it again with the other Carnifex on the same unit there. That's 2 shots hitting on 5s, nothing. Okay, that's the end of the shooting phase. We've got a morale chest on these units here, these squad of 2. If you roll a 6, that'd be fine because of bonding knives. And you roll a 5. 5 + 3 is 8. They've got a leadership of 7. So 1 more flees, I think.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no.
What?
They're nearby the ethereal.
Yes.
And he has the failure is not an option special rule, so
Right.
they use his leadership, which is 9.
Okay, so they're hanging in there. They watch their drones and their compadres get slaughtered around them, and the ethereal saying, "Stand firm, brothers," because look at all the bioplasmic shot that rained against the Riptide and did no damage whatsoever. In fact, that's the end of my phase. I've killed some marker drones. I wish I've killed more. But I have got some good board control. The suits, the crisis suits are not here yet. I have got first blood, and I will get D3 points for supremacy. And that's only 1 point. So it's 2 points to the Tyranids, 1 point for the Tau. Let's go on to Tau turn 1. 1 minute, 1 minute. Why did I give the Tau 1 point there? It's 2-0. 2-0 to Kraken.
I mean, I'm happy to have it.
No.
It's
Tau turn
I'm
1.
very grateful of you. You know, maybe you guys do want to join the Greater Good after all.
Would you let Tyranids in the Greater Good?
Oh, if they behaved.
They definitely wouldn't behave themselves. Let's go to Tau turn 1. And here are the orders from the Cold Star Commander up ahead. Multiple distractions. Basically, you've got to make sure that there's enemy units within 12 inches of each board edge, left and right. And there isn't. So you won't get a point for that. Psychological warfare. Make the Tyranids fail a morale test. Well, synapse is a thing. So that's highly unlikely as well. But scour the skies. Kill something with a fly keyword. That could happen. Here we are after the Tau movement phase, all very simple really. The front rank moves forward to respond to the threat, and the two units of Pathfinders with their Markalites staying back, staying cautious, because Markalites are heavy weapons, so if you move, you can suffer the hit for firing them. Sorcerer Dave spending a command point on Branched Nova Charge, so when he overcharges the Riptide, he can pick two things instead of one. Precisely. And the Ethereal's effect is ignore wounds on a 6-up. What was that one called?
Right, so Ethereals have an ability called Invocation of the Elements.
That's the one.
Which is Ethereals using their own mysterious powers that they have, which incidentally do actually work on humans as well as Tau in the narrative.
Yes.
They're not quite as effective against humans as Tau, but Ethereals can manipulate more than just the Tau.
Yes.
So basically you get a bunch of options. The one I've picked though is Sense of Stone.
Yes.
So every unit within 6 inches that's infantry or a battlesuit ignores wounds on a 6.
Which is the battlesuit, which is the Riptide as well, because it has the battlesuit keyword. So indeed. I like it. So the Tau advancing. Let's go into the shooting phase. Before we do, because you do the ethereal thing in the movement phase, you can ignore the wound for Nova charging on the Riptide if you roll a 6.
Right, yeah.
So good luck, sir.
Basically, the Nova charge thing is you take a wound and then you get some bonuses for the next turn. It's to represent the fact that the Riptide you can ride its systems to the maximum, but it will damage the suit after prolonged use.
Yes.
Because it's still a kind of experimental thing.
Yes. So roll a 6, you'll be alright.
If I roll a 6 though, I can ignore that. Which I don't. But no mind.
He does take a mortal wound, but he does his thing twice. What things are you doing twice?
So, he's going to get his 5-up invuln save boosted to a 3+.
Yes.
And he's going to get the other one I can't remember the name of, but basically the random number of attacks, he has D6 attacks for his big ion blaster here.
Yes.
That will just automatically be 6 now, and it will be strength 9 instead of strength 8.
Nice, I like it. Right, now let's go into the shooting phase. Opening up the shooting phase, we had Markalite hits and rapid fire shenanigans coming in with a buff from the Cadre Fireblade, firing into this unit of Hormagaunts, and 9 of them were wiped out. Coming across to the other flank, that unit of Pathfinders firing Markalites down at the Carnifex with Catalyst on him.
So, I need 5s because of the horror.
Yes, I knew you'd be picked on.
So
and you get 2 hits. Okay, so that'll be reroll hit rolls of 1 versus him. Now that unit Pathfinders were horrified, plus this thing's got Spore Cysts on it, so you're hitting on 6s instead of 5. He did get 1 6, so he is marked once, so reroll hit rolls of 1. What do you fire next, Sorcerer Dave?
Both these missile drones?
Yes.
At said Carnifex.
You don't like him, do you?
Not very much.
Okay. So 5s to hit because of Spore Cysts. And then reroll 1s.
Yeah, that should be 6s, because these guys only have a ballistic skill
do they?
plus.
Okay, you get 1 hit.
You get 1 hit.
Strength.
7.
Toughness 7.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. How many AP on that one?
Just -1.
-1, 4-up save, which I fail. How much damage?
D3.
For the big 3, 3 5-up feel no pains or catalyst saves. And I make 2 of them. He only takes a wound. That Carnifex has got 7 left. Right, next up in the shoot phase, what we fire in Sorcerer Dave.
So, Riptide.
Yes.
He's going to be firing everything at the said Carnifex.
Okay.
One of my objectives is to kill something with the fly keyword, which would be those fellows over there. But the problem is, I don't really care about them right now. Considering about a third of my army in points is off the table right now.
Right. But what about these big bugs as well?
Big bugs?
You're not too worried about them?
How little they did to me last time.
Right.
I'm not as worried about them, particularly since this guy now has a 3-up invuln on him.
Okay.
It's because of the Nova charge.
So what you're saying is you're more worried about 2 Carnifexes charging into your lines.
these Carnifexes next turn are pretty much guaranteed to get in here and start killing stuff. So if I can eliminate one of them, big deal.
Okay.
As far as I can see. Cause,
I like it.
You know, as soon as that way, this is kind of important as well, because if I can get rid of 1, that means 1 Carnifex will come charging at me.
Yes.
Which means I can pop for the greater good.
Yes.
And all these boys can shoot at him as he comes in at me. Hitting on 5+ because I'm Tau. Now, when you do that for the greater good, you can't fire Overwatch again with that unit in this phase.
Right.
So if you've got something else coming in as well, like, I don't know, a second Carnifex, I won't get to shoot him.
What I'm hearing is you're worried about the Carnifexes.
Yes.
So let's try and kill one. We did measured up the fusion guns. He's got 2 fusion guns. You are just in range by a couple of millimeters. It's nice. So 2 fusion guns coming in. And these are going to be hitting on 5s because of the spore cysts.
Yeah, it's rolling 1s at least.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Pair of 2s. All right.
Okay. All right. Now his big overcharged gun. This will not let you down, will it?
No, of course not.
6 shots.
The question is, do I want to overcharge it? It's a bit like a plasma rifle in that respect. So,
Okay. Does it do more damage?
Yeah, it does 3 instead of D3.
Interesting.
So I'm going to go with no for now. In a different situation I might have, but no. So this is going to be normally heavy D6, but because he Nova boosted, overcharged, it's actually going to be the full 6.
Okay,
guaranteed.
go for it. 5 shots. Oh dear.
Roll those 1s at least.
One
got 1.
hit.
Got 1.
Strength. Hive.
Strength is 8.
Okay, toughness 7.
So 3.
Oh dear.
Never mind.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh
You
dear.
whiffed.
So Dave didn't want 2 Carnifexes charging towards his lines, and it looks like 2 Carnifexes might be charging towards his lines, unless these little dudes manage to hold them up. I say little dudes, noble fire warriors defending Kalek 4. So there's 2 guys in front, the remaining brothers from the unit that got picked on last turn. They're firing at this Carnifex, rapid firing, hitting on 5s.
So
That's 3 hits, that's alright.
push
Strength
the
5, toughness 7, wounding on 3s. 5s.
5s.
3
Wow.
wounds. 3, that's good. 3 up saves. And I ignore them all. Oh dear.
No worries.
15 shots from this squad coming into the front rank of Termagants. It's -1 to hit them because of the venom thropes here. So 5s to hit. Was that only 3 hits, Dave?
It was only 3 hits.
That was only 3 hits. 3s to wound.
Okay.
Strength 5, toughness 3, 1 wound.
1 wound.
I have a 5 up save because I'm wholly within a terrain piece. Oh dear. Just to add salt in the wound.
That is insulting.
Oh no, you can't kill a little gribbly. Let's do it again with the second squad. So the second Fire Warrior team managed to kill 1. Just 1 Termagant. And now we've got the Breacher squad there firing everything at the Carnifex. This is the long range shot, 15-inch range. Hitting on 5s because of spore cysts.
Oh, look at that.
You got a few hits this time.
5, 6.
6 hits, strength 4, toughness 7, wounding on 5s.
5s.
Fumph, as the Germans say.
1.
1 wound, 1 3 up. I'm alive. Then the Cadra Fireblade reached out and shot and didn't kill anything, and that's the end of the Tau shooting phase, and it was really disappointing. 1 bug dying here, 9 bugs dying in this squad here, a wound off the Carnifex, and that's it. Some really poor firepower coming in. I don't need to take a morale test because they're within 12-inch range of the Broodlord, so Synapse is a thing. And at the end of that turn, the Tau score no points. So it's 2 points to Hive Fleet Kraken and 0 points to the Tau. And I did tell him to pick on the Venom Thropes. I told you to pick on them. They're the flag keyword. And got that -1 to hit bubble going on there. So let's go on to Hive Fleet Kraken's turn 2 and let's see if the Hive Mind can press this advantage. Here are the orders from the Hive Mind, and they're all Tyranid specific. Devour basically kills something in the fight phase. Swarm, make sure I have more objective markers than the Tau. And right now the Tau are only on 1, so that's definitely going to happen. And Terrify, if I kill an enemy unit in the morale phase, I'll get a point. And so Hive Fleet Kraken swarms across the surface of this desert and covers more objectives than the Tau, which means that'll be a point. And I need to kill something in the fight phase for Devour. 2 units of Fire Warriors here. Carnifex and Hormagaunts here. Hormagaunts move 8. That's going to be a 6-inch charge, just over 6 away. And a 6 with the Carnifex in as well. Some supporting fire will come back through, but I just need to kill 1 unit. Then I advance with the Gene Stealers. Gene Stealers can advance and charge to try and get through this gap here, along with the unkillable Carnifex. Now, the Carnifex, if it charges, will block up the place for the Gene Stealers. They'll either have to come over the roof, or I'm going to have to kill this unit of 2 with some Psychic Might first, so the Carnifex can come in a bit further, so the Gene Stealers can squeeze in through there. Basically what I'm saying is, unless my psychic phase is naff, I'm going to be able to get in there if my psychic phase is good. So there's the Broodlord, there's my synaptic linchpin. This unit here didn't advance. They came streaming around that complex there, and they're going to chuck some shots in. And then Sorcerer Dave was wondering what was going on with this squad here.
Yeah, I'm
shenanigans.
What is this flying V here?
This is the Hive Mind being intelligent. There's stuff floating down from orbit, and I need to make sure that you've got nothing in my back line, and also score that objective there. So this is called Deep Strike Denial.
Right, look, are you the swarms of Hive Fleet Kraken, or are you the Mighty Ducks?
We are the Mighty Ducks. So that's what's going on there. And the same with this other swarm over here as well, trying to do Deep Strike Denial. It's a bug planet. It's an ugly planet. The way I see it is the Hive Mind isn't stupid. It's been fighting and fighting and fighting for thousands, perhaps millions of years in the void of space. So it knows what it's doing. And when it sees enemies hurtling down, it spreads out, fans out, and tries to protect the important assets in the back lines. Right, now let's do some psychic stuff. Let's roll straight into the psychic phase. This thing is going to try and horrify. I probably should do it on the Riptide, but marker lights. I'm going to put it on the marker lights one more time, and I'll horrify on a 6, and that's a 7. So that squad of Pathfinders are horrified, and now I'm in smite range. It's going to hit those ones there. I need a 5, and that is a pass. D3 mortal wounds for 2 mortal wounds on that unit of Tau Fire Warriors. Next up, this guy here, my Warlord. He's got Onslaught and Smite. I only need to Smite, and it'll go through and hit that unit of 2. So let's Smite. This is a 6 now, because it was a 5 to cast. Now it's a 6. That passes. D3 mortal wounds for 3 mortal wounds. That squad of 2 are wiped out, sir.
Are they within 6 inches of the ethereal?
Let's say yes. And them as well, yeah. So 6 is on them.
Nope. And these 2? No.
Nope. Okay, that worked. Next up, the Broodlord is going to Psychic Scream. This is a 5, and that passes. D3 mortal wounds for 3 mortal wounds on the Breacher squad. And then this Neurothrope is going to Smite, so it's a 5, 6, 7 on this one. That passes. D3 more mortal wounds on that Breacher team for 1. So 4 in that Breacher team. Do they get their 6 up? Ignore the thing as well, because the invocation of the elemental spirits of doom.
They do indeed.
Okay, 6s. No, that's 2s and 1s. And then the last thing I'm going to do is cast Catalyst on this unit of Gene Stealers so they can ignore wounds on a 5-up. And I can reroll 1s because it's the Neurothrope thingy bob. And Catalyst passed, so these Gene Stealers are buffed. Opening up the shooting phase, this unit of Termagants are firing at this squad of 3 here. I've spent a command point on Scorch Bugs, so it's going to be +1 to wound on this squad. There's 15 in line of sight and range. I hit on 4s. And that was 8 hits. Strength 4 versus Toughness 3. Would be wounding on 3s, but with Scorch Bugs, I am wounding on 2s. And I rolled a 3 1s there, so that's 5 wins, so no AP.
I rolled 2 1s there.
Did I? Oh yeah, 2 1s. Sorry, looking through the camera. Right, 6 4-up saves. Not 5. And you fell 4, but you get to ignore damage on a 6s because of the elemental, ethereal.
Ooh, Sense of Stone.
And you haven't made one of them yet. That unit of 3 get wiped out, eaten alive by tiny bugs. So 4 have died in the Breacher squad so far. I need to make a unit flee, so the Carnifex will fire in. Assault 6, D6, that's 5 shots. And I didn't advance this turn. I'm hitting on 4s. And it's strength 7, so I'm killing on 2s. 2 wounds, but you ignore them on 6s. And you still haven't made one of those element of stone saves. 2 more Breachers fall. Let's do the same with this Carnifex into one of those squads. 3 shots, hitting on 4s. 2 hits, killing on 2s. 2 die in this squad over here. So casualty is taken all the way across the tower lines now onto the big guns. Now, I really want to fire at the Riptide, but we found out what happened last turn. So let's fire at the drones. So I'm going to fire the Exocrine at those 2 remaining drones there. I'm hitting on 3s. It feels bad that I'm shooting at drones, but I need to remove this save mechanic that helps the Riptide out.
That's what you do with Tau. Shoot the drones first.
Strength 7, toughness 4, wounding on 3s. Okay, 5 invulnerables.
4 up.
Oh no, just 1 dies.
Just 1 dies.
So the drone still ain't dead, and I refuse to fire a rupture cannon at a drone. So I'm going to put the rupture cannon from the Tyranids into the Riptide, and then you can pass off some onto the drones, hopefully getting more than 2 hits this time, 4s to hit. Yay, I get 4 hits this time. It's strength 10, so I'm winning on 3s. I get 3 wounds through, so how many do you want to pass on to drones, or do you just roll 1 at a time?
I have to fail my save first, and then I get to pass it on to the drones.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, 4 3 up and buns because you're overcharged. Okay, and there was 4 wounds, by the way. You get 1 more.
What was it? What's another one?
Okay, you failed 2.
So, failed 2.
Yes.
Now
Now you need to
with
pass.
one of these
Yes.
will be passed off to the drone on 2+.
No.
Oh,
One
no.
hits him, so you want to pass another one off onto the drone on the 2+?
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Yep,
Yes.
there we go.
So the drone takes the mortal wound, which he ignores on a...
5+.
Nice.
There we go.
So it worked, but 1 shot does hit the Riptide. Finally. D6 damage. This is where I roll a 1. I rolled a 2. Do I want to command point that? No. Just leave it at 2. He lost a wound because he overcharged it. He lost 2 more, and that's the end of my shooting phase. So that was a pretty painful shooting and psychic phase. A couple of squads wiped out there. The breachers took a hit. Now we're going to go on to the charge phase. I'm going to start off with the Carnifex, charging both of these squads here. He can eat the Overwatch before the Hormagaunts go charging in. So both of these squads are firing 3 times at the Carnifex because of the Cadre Fireblade. These guys are not joining in with the For the Greater Good rule yet because they're saving their shots to fire at the Hormagaunts because they could kill a lot more than a toughness 7 Carnifex. But this is 24 shots, hitting on 5s, coming in on the Carnifex. Don't normally fill on Overwatch, but it is Tau, and that's a lot of hits.
Yep.
That was 12 hits, winning on 5s. I like it. And that's quite a few wounds. So, yeah. 5 wounds?
Yep.
5 wounds, 5 threat saves. You take 2 wounds off the Carnifex before it comes piling in. Let's see how far it goes. 11? Oh yeah, they're both tied up. So the Carnifex gets there. Now the Hormagaunts are declaring a charge against both of the squads. So these 2 squads, using Tau for the greater good, are going to fire at the little bugs, hitting on 5s. And that isn't so good, but they do wound on 3s, because you're strength 5 versus toughness 3. And you get 3 wounds through, so 3 t-shirt saves. I save 1 of them, killing 2 of the little bugs. I need a 6-inch charge to make it into the closer unit. And an 8-inch charge might get me into the second unit. We'll measure up and find out. And the Hormagaunts get there. Now, when they pile in, they've got a rule. Then when they pile in and consolidate, they can pile in 6 inches. So some of them are definitely going to be able to wrap around, because right now, not all of them are striking. Now we're on to this Carnifex, charging the squad of breachers and this squad here. So now we have Overwatch, and unfortunately the Riptide will be able to join in as well if it wants to. So the breachers hitting on 5s and 6s.
Oh, look at that.
That's very good. And this is the strength 6 shot, so you're still winning on 3s, but it's AP minus 2 at this range.
Yes.
And yep, you get 3 through. Despite the minuses to hit because of the Spore Cysts, Overwatch always hit on 6s. So my threat becomes a 5 up. And you take 3 wounds off the Carnifex already. It lost a wound last turn, so it's down to only 4 wounds left. And you said the Riptide and this squad of Fire Warriors are firing at him as well.
Yep, and the Fireblade will probably chuck it in as well, because why not?
Nice. The Fireblade's overwatching with his Markerlight. Good luck, sir. Ooh, and it hits.
There we go.
So this squad is going to be hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1s. Now the squad in front of the Fireblade hitting on 5s. And re-rolling 1s. There's a 1. It didn't work. 4 wounds. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 3 up. Yes, I make it. He's got 4 wounds still, and we're doing the Riptide on him as well. This could sting. So, fusion. 5s to hit.
Are you rolling 1s?
There's a 1. No.
Not quite.
And then the big gun of doom.
Right.
So the overcharge weapon is still in effect, lasts until the beginning of the next turn. So 5s to hit with a big ion cannon. Something or other.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Something's malfunctioning on this Riptide, I think. It's something's up with this cannon. Systems aren't working properly, I guess.
Let's see how far the Carnifex goes. 8. And the Carnifex ends up his charge move there. Let's see how far the Gene Stealers can get. That's not good. Is 6 enough? 6 is okay, but I'd really like to go a bit further than that. Do I command point that? I think they're dead anyway. No, 6 will do. And the Gene Stealers end up there. Not ideal, but I think those unit of breaches are dead. Right, that's the end of the charges. At the end of the charge phase, Carnifex has got crushing charge. He'll do a mortal wound against this squad here on a 4. No. And then he'll swing with all of his attacks. Normally they have 4, but Screamer Killers have 5 attacks, and they hit on 3s on the charge. All against this unit of Fire Warriors, by the way. And that's 4 hits. 4 hits. He's strength 6, so I'm winning on 2s. And it's AP minus 3, 3 damage each. So that will just cut straight through all your armor, and each of these guys need to make 3 6s, 3 6s, 3 6s, 3 6s. And one guy is still locked up with a Carnifex, not making any of those 6s there. Right, Sorcerer Dave, do you want to spend 2 command points to interrupt the fight phase? No. All right, at the end of the charge phase, this one does a mortal wound to that squad as well on a 4, which kills one of them, leaving 2 left in this squad, and I'll put all my attacks from the Carnifex into this squad of 2, hitting on 3s and killing on 2s. And there's only 2 left in that squad, so that squad are wiped. Then the Carnifex consolidates closer to that unit, and then I selected the Hormagaunts, which pile in. Now they have 2 attacks each, there's 13 of them, so 26 attacks, hitting on 4s. Then they reroll hit rolls of 1 with this weapon. I got 13 hits in the end. Strength 3 versus toughness 3, and I am wounding on 4s. If this squad was 20 or more, then I would also reroll wound rolls of 1. In the end, only do 6 wounds on those Fire Warriors there, so 6 4-up saves, no AP on this weapon. They might live. Look at that, only 1 of them falls. They do live. Then from this squad, over to the Gene Stealers fighting the last of the breaches. The Gene Stealers slaughter those breaches there, and now we're back to this squad. The Shazwi gets an extra attack. He's Tau with an extra attack. So 5 attacks hitting the Hormagaunts, I take it, not the Carnifex.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 5s. You get 4 hits. And strength 3 versus toughness 3. And you kill 3 of them. I get 3 6-up saves. And 2 of them die. From that fight back across to this fight, he struck at the Carnifex and killed nothing. And that's the end of my turn 2. Now, I made a mistake up this end because I'm not in sign-ups range with my Hormagaunts anymore. And you just killed 3, and their leadership 6. And 6 plus, 5 plus 3 is 8, so I'm going to lose 2 more. And then we need to terrify this guy here. So he lost 4 in his squad, but he uses the Ethereal's leadership, which is 9. And you pass, because if he'd have ran away, that would have been a point for me. Now that's the end of Tyranids turn 2. The Tyranids control more objectives than the Tau. I did kill something in the assault phase, so it's 4 points to 0. More importantly, I've got a tremendous amount of ball control as Hive Fleet Kraken spreads out and tastes blood and charges the Tau lines. Desperate stuff for this Tau force. However, it isn't over yet. The Cold Star Suit Commander is hurtling down, and his battlesuit brethren will be jumping in as well. Let's go on to Tau turn 2 and find out what the counterpunch is like. Here are the orders for the Tau. Secure objective 6. That's one of the ones that no one has right now. Multiple distractions cannot be scored. And scour the skies. Kill those venom thropes, Sorcerer Days. Kill the venom thropes. Here we are after the Tau movement phase. Interestingly enough, if Dave had kept Psychological Warfare in his hand, he'd have scored a point last turn. And what we've got here is the Pathfinder team have moved forward and scored objective 6, so we will definitely get a point. And then the Cold Star team came in along with all the XV-88s, forming a big castle around the Ethereal and the injured Riptide. And this little hero fell back from the Carnifex there. I was talking to Dave off camera there about putting them in different locations to get more shots in. But you're saying that if they work better in a big group, because if I charge you, that's a lot of support in Fire Overwatch. And I see your point.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to charge anyone there now, because that's a lot of hitting on fires with a lot of fusion and plasma and everything.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, both options have their merits.
Yes.
From previous experience, I like to keep the Sue blob together because of the Overwatch thing, especially because I'm using the Tau Sept.
Yes.
If I was using a different Sept, I might consider actually splitting them up. But as it stands, I want to keep them together like that, I think. And
yes.
We'll see if it's the right decision.
Prime target number 1, killing the Carnifex. Prime target number 2, whittling those Gene Stealers down, for sure. Yeah. Because they're fast, they're nasty, and they can eat you. Then over here, the squad of Fire Warriors that were in close combat have fallen back. There's a bit of a last stand going along on here, along with the Pathfinders and the last of the Cadre Fireblades on this flank. And that's it for the Tau force. They will get a point for scoring that objective 6, but not much else. So let's go on to the shooting phase. Opening up the shooting phase on this flank here, we've got the Pathfinders and the Cadre Fireblade and Gaunts or Carnifex? Gaunts or Carnifex?
Gaunts.
Gaunts. Okay, so who's firing what first?
The Cadre Fireblade. He's going to pop his marker light at the Gaunts to hopefully get some reroll ones.
Yes.
So it's a 3 because he did move. So I've rolled a 2. Magnificent.
Brilliant.
All right, good. And
then lots of shots coming in because of the Cadre Fireblade.
Yes.
Forced to hit.
From the Pathfinders.
And as I said, none of these guys are in synapse range, and morale is going to be a thing for these guys. So if you kill a chunk of them, a chunk more might run away, leaving you only with a Carnifex to deal with. I say only a Carnifex. That's good shooting, by the way.
That's a pretty filthy roll.
Yeah,
so
3s to hit.
I'll take that.
3s to wounds, sorry. And that's a lot of wounds. So just -2, right?
Yep.
6.
Oh, it's not minus anything. This is
not
just
minus anything.
Pulse carbines, yeah.
6s. I saved 2. 3. That's 8. 8 of these guys get wiped out. Like I said, leadership 6. Only 4 left in that squad now. Oh, and at the end of the movement phase, he's doing his overcharged thingy bob. The Ethereal is doing Sense of Stone. So he takes a mortal wound for overcharging his thing, that 1 command point stratagem, and on a 6-up, you ignore it one more time. New. He rolled 5 twice in a row. So the Riptide takes another mortal wound, but he can do 2 things. Is that overcharged gun and the 3-up and run again?
Yeah, I'll spend the extra command point for that. Might as well.
Yep. Sweet. So in the shooting phase, the Riptide is going to put its fusions into this one and the big gun into this Carnifex here. The Riptide picking on both of the Carnifexes. Then we remembered you had some marker drones still in high orbit, so they dropped in here.
Yeah, I thought they were part of my dead pile, to be honest. So.
But no, the marker drones dropped in here, and you're going to mark up this one with all 4, right?
Yep.
So 5s to hit because of Spore Cysts.
All right. That should be 6s to hit, I'm afraid, because they're 5s to hit normally.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're only drones.
Okay, go for it.
No.
Yes, that's a hit. So the other 2 will re-roll once. No, you get 2 hits in on that Carnifex.
All right. Now.
So he's lit up once.
I will pop uplink marker light again.
Okay.
So that last one will be D3 + 1.
Yes. For 1, that's 3 marker hits unless you want a command point re-roll that.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can't get any worse, right? You're looking for a 5 or 6? No.
No.
So 4 hits on that, which will strip cover from it, but Spore Cysts don't count as cover. It's just -1 to hit whenever you target this unit.
Yes.
Okay, so you can now put the big gun from your Riptide.
Better yet,
yes.
He's marker light.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Shoot it with that.
Yep.
So let's give it a go. This will be 3s.
Yes.
I think. No, did he move? I can't remember.
He did move. He was
did
on
move.
the.
So it'll actually be 4s. -1 for moving, -1 for his Spore Cysts nonsense.
Rerolling 1s. Reroll the 1.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. So you have lit it up. That's 5 hits on him.
Yep.
There's +1 to hit for the Riptide. That's good stuff.
So 6 hitting on 3s, rerolling 1. So surely, theoretically, we should get some decent damage this time.
Well, it's going to be hitting on 4s because it would be hitting on 4s normally. -1 because of Sporcis, +1 because you've got 5 hits in.
Yep.
So 6 shots, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. What's the worst that could have happened? Ooh, 3 hits. That's perfectly statistically average. Strength really high, wounding on 3s. And that's 2 get through. And what's the AP and the damage and everything?
Okay, so the AP is -3. It should be D3 damage.
Are you... Okay.
That's
AP -3. I need 6s. I fail both of my saves. So 2 D3 damage, 5 wounds to get through. Oh, that's enough. The Carnifex is wiped out, just turned into a red smear across the battle grid. He doesn't explode or have that death throws, which means this little castle, this little Rorke's Drift style of Fire Warriors here might survive.
So I could have overcharged the ion gun,
right?
That I keep forgetting the name of because it's like a plasma weapon in that respect, which would have given it flat 3 damage.
Yes.
But
that was
I decided
enough.
not to, and luckily I rolled 2 3s on the D3, so
nice.
The dice gods have smiled on me for now.
Well, let's see how lucky you are putting your 2 fusion shots into this Carnifex as well, which will be hitting on 5s because of Sporcis. He's not marked yet. 1 hit, nice.
This will be wounding on 3s.
And that's a wound. It's AP -4, so I don't get a save, and it's D6 damage. I've got 4 wounds left. 5. You kill 2 Carnifexes, 1 round of shooting. Well done, Riptide. Sorry, what was that, Sorcerer Dave?
I think the pilot finally unscrambled whatever was wrong with his experimental operating system on board this thing.
He's been having troubles. He's obviously rebooted, restarted. He was facing the blue screen of death for a minute.
Yeah.
They rebooted the system, wiped out 2 Carnifexes there. I like it. Right, now we've got a whole fusillade of shots that can come in on another target. What are we selecting next?
Gene Stealers.
Yeah, I would, Coco.
Although I think I'll shoot him with a laser pointer first.
Right, from the cadre.
Yeah, hiding behind that battle
He hits on a 3 because he moved. And no. Right, so this unit of 5 battle suits here. Now, it turns out that fusion is in range of the Venomthropes, so it's coming up town. Plus the 2 missile pods coming up at the Venomthrope as well. All the other shots are reaching out and touching the Gene Stealers. So 1 fusion into the Venomthrope, hitting on a 5 because -1 to hit. Unfortunately, miss. And then the missile pods. No.
Okay.
It was a nice attempt. And then all the other guns are going to go slamming into the Gene Stealers. We've got 4 plasma rifles in rapid fire range and 1 that isn't. So that's going to be 9 plasma shots hitting the Gene Stealers. These will hit on 4s. This might sting a bit. 4s to hit. And it doesn't sting very much. There's only 4 hits there. Strength 6, I think. Anyway, wounding on 3s. Yep. And then I have a 5-up invulnerable lightning reflex save. And then 5-up catalyst. 2 Gene Stealers die. Then there's 3 fusion coming in at the squad of Gene Stealers as well, hitting on 4s. 2 hits and winning on 2s. Strength 8, these fusion. Nice. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. And I failed them both, and each does D6 damage. D6 damage because I've got Catalyst on, so if you roll a bunch of 1s.
Okay.
New. So 3 Catalyst saves, 1's dead, and then 4 Catalyst saves. Yeah, 2 more are dead. Okay, 4 Gene Stealers killed from that crisis suit there. Wiping out 4 of them, English. Gene Stealers dying. After the first squad of crisis suits opened up, now we're going to do the second squad of crisis suits opening up with their burst cannons and fusion guns in on the Gene Stealers. And you spent 3 command points, leaving you with 6 left on focus fire. Basically, it's +1 to wound a unit that has already been wounded. So these burst cannons, instead of wounding on 3s, because they're strength 5, will be wounding on 2s. Got to hit first, though. Forced to hit.
Here we go.
12 shots. Good luck. And that's okay. 6 hits, perfectly statistically average. Now you need to wound on 2s. Good luck, sir. You need it. Your shooting's been appalling.
Yeah.
5 wounds. So I have 5 up invulnerable saves as I dodge right, dodge left. And I make 3 of them. 2 catalysts. I failed both of them though, killing 2 gene stealers. Then the fusion shots came in and killed 2 more, so that was good. Now we've got the missile drone firing in. So it hits on 5s, right?
Yeah, did unfortunately move though. Although having said that, a missile pod is an assault weapon, so it doesn't matter.
Nice, okay. 5s. And that's a miss. The missiles go wide. And there's more firepower coming in on the Gene Stealers, the Cold Star Commander, putting all of his shots into him as well. High outburst burst cannon, that's 8 shots. This dude hits on 2s.
Yep.
He can fire. And you only drop 1 there, that's good. Now this would wound on 3s, but with focus fire, this is going to wound on 2s. And you roll 3 1s. Your firepower has been bad. 5 up, invulnerable saves. I make 1, and 3 catalyst saves. Make 1 of them as well, but 2 more Gene Stealers by it. Then the fusion gun came in, killed 1 more. Now we have the missile pod, 2s. And 2s again, because of focus fire. And 5 ups. And how much damage does this do? D3 or something?
Yeah, D3.
If you roll a D3, we'll do the catalyst on the camera this time, because there was no point with the fusion. Yeah, that's another one dead. Wounds do not spill over. Okay, so 16 Gene Stealers whittled all the way down to 4. That was a pretty effective fusillade. Then the last thing left to fire was this unit of Pathfinders firing in at this squad of Gaunts, killing 4. I picked up the ones further away from him. That's the end of the shooting phase. Any charges, sir?
No.
No charges. So that's the end of Tau turn 2. The Gene Stealers don't need to take a morale test because I am within synapse. Unfortunately, the squad of former Gaunts do need to take a morale test. Leadership 6, I lost 8. That's what the dice signify. 5 plus 8 is maths, 13. That's the squad wiped. So these Fire Warriors who are exposed out on the right flank have managed to defend themselves, heroes that they are. And the Pathfinders over on the left flank have managed to secure that objective in and amongst those that settlement there. So it's 4 points to 1 in favour of Hive Fleet Kraken. The Tau are coming back here. It looked like Hive Fleet Kraken got the drop by seizing the initiative in turn 1, charging through this settlement. But now the Cold Star Commander is here. Now his elite crisis suit team are here. Now the big guns are on the table. So this game could turn anyway. It can go one way or it could go the other way. It's still a long way from over. Let's go on to Tyranids, turn 3. Alright, I did Terrify last turn, and here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Advance outside of my deployment zone. Get everything out of the deployment zone. That isn't going to happen, because I've got big guns back there and I don't want to move them. Assassinate killer character. That's going to be really tough as well. Defend objective 2, however, I've got that. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase. I haven't advanced, and I'm certainly not going to assassinate a character, but here is objective 2, so if I hold that until the end of Sorcerer Dave's turn, that'll be 2 points, making it 6 points to 1, assuming that Dave doesn't score anything, and I'm sure he is likely to score something. The Venom Throat staying still, offering their bubble, and these guys lining up to get shots on the Pathfinders. These guys lining up to get shots on the Pathfinders. Now, I thought about shoving everything forward into the jaws of hell. That is a lot of Overwatch shots. So I need to soften up that target with a bit of psychic shenanigans first, and by throwing some big guns down on them first. If I just shoved everything up the table now in turn 3, then I would be, for example, if I put this unit up and shot some shots in and then charged in, it's likely that they would get wiped out in Overwatch, and I would give Sorcerer Dave a unit in my phase, or another unit in my phase, or if I threw the Broodlord up there, it's very likely the Broodlord would die in my phase. Making that charge with all that supporting fire, it's castling up like that was the right idea, because it's made me change what I was going to do. It's made me hang back for a turn. I need to soften up that target over there before I go wheeling in. And then round here, with that in mind, the Gene Stealers and the last Neurothrope are coming over here to deal with these guys. Now I know there aren't any objectives over here, But there are a bunch of marker drones, and I'd like to get them eventually. Maybe not this turn, but maybe next turn. Because they're going to help your army quite considerably. So that's what we've done. Now let's move on to the psychic phase. Catalyst on the Gene Stealers. And that fails, so they don't have their 5-up ignore damage. And then smiting. And that passes D3 mortal wounds on the unit Fire Warriors for 1. Just killing one of the Fire Warriors. It's a little bit less Overwatch. Over here, the Broodlord is going to Psychic Scream. It's going to hit that one lone Fire Warrior hero that held out against the Carnifex charge. And that fails, so it isn't going to hit him.
But Halva protected him.
I needed him dead, so that some of these psychic shenanigans that go through would have hit the Crisis team. Oh well, that happened. Okay, so this one's got Onslaught, which I'm not going to use, and Smite. I need a 6 for the Smite. That passes. D3 Mortal Wounds will kill off that one lone chap stood there on his own. Finally. Yes, him. And then this guy's got the Horror and Smite. So let's Smite. This is a 7 now. And that passes. D3 Mortal Wounds on the Crisis suits. For 2 Mortal Wounds. You say they come with 3 each?
They do.
So one's tickled, but he ain't dead yet. And then I'm going to do the Horror on the Riptides, which is a 24-inch range. Yes.
Sense of Stone is a thing.
Oh, yes. So you get to ignore that guy. I think I did 1 to him. Let's say 1. He's dead. And then 2 on the Crisis suits because of the elemental thing. No. I haven't pulled any of these off yet. Let's do Horror on the Riptide. And that passes. So it's a -1 to hit and -1 leadership on the Riptide next turn. I like it. That's the end of my psychic phase. I've got very few guns. Let's fire the guns from these 2 squads that can reach out and touch that unit of Fire Warriors. Firing this squad first. The ones that can hit the Pathfinders will shoot at them, and the ones that can hit the Crisis suits will shoot at them. And what I see...
You have activated my trap card.
What's that there?
This is Neuroweb System Jammer.
Right.
So use this stratagem at the start of the enemy shooting phase. Pick an enemy unit within 18 inches of the battlesuit commander from your army.
Yes.
Your opponent must subtract 1 from hit rolls made for that unit in this phase.
Okay.
Just going to do it on them.
Okay. Try and keep one of those suits alive. I like it. 4 are hitting the Pathfinders, hitting them on 5s and wounding them on 3s. That's a wound on the Pathfinder, +1 for your cover save in there.
So this will be a 4-up?
Yes. No, kills a Pathfinder. And then the remaining shots that can reach out and touch the Crisis suits are these ones. They're hitting on 5s because of that Neuroweb System Jammer. That's only 3 hits. Strength 4. Are you a toughness 4 or a toughness higher?
Toughness 5 on the suits.
Are they?
Yeah.
I did 2 wounds. 2 wounds, 2 3-up saves, 1's on 1 wound left.
Okay.
And you fail 1. You need to make a 6. A 6 will keep him alive because you're elemental thingy-jig.
Unless I want to command point it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Is that...
Damn. I saw the 4 for a second there.
Was that the command point reroll
that
of the 6?
Was, yeah.
So now you've got a 6 and you can ignore it with the elemental thingy-jig. No. Okay, killed a suit. Then this squad fired through the outpost, killing 1 more Pathfinder. Right, last thing left to fire are the big guns in the backfield, these weapon beasts. Right, this drone protocol thingy-bob, how does it work? What is the range? If I fired at this front squad, can those drones do saviour protocols on the front squad?
That is a really good question. I want to say it's 6 inches. It might be less though, so we'll check that.
So we find out it's 3 inches, which is close enough for just 1 of those shield drones. So we'll spend a command point on Pathogenic Slime, meaning his damage attacks go from 2 to 3. Because every one I get through will kill a suit because they got 3 wounds, right? Mm-hmm. So he's hitting on 3s. Let's fire at the big suit squad of Crisis suits in the front rank. Front rank fire, second rank fire. So that's 8 hits. That's not bad. Strength 7, I will wound you on 3s with the Exocrine. And that is 6 wounds at -3, and each does 3 damage on those Crisis suits. So you need to start palming them off with one of these shield drones, because there's 1 in range, you said?
Yes, but that's only when they lose the wound.
Right, okay, so you've got 6 6s to make.
Well, they got shield generators.
Oh,
so
yeah.
4-up saves.
That's right, yeah, I forgot. You spent the points on them. Let's see if this helps you. It helps you...
3 times.
3 times. So 3 get through. It did help you a lot. So 3 get through, each -3, 3 damage. So a shield drone at a time, right?
Yep.
So on a 2 it goes on the shield drone. Yep. And then on a 5-up you save the shield drone. No. Dead shield drone.
Okay, so that can go bye-bye.
And then the other 2 are out of range, right?
Yep, they're just beyond 3 inches, unfortunately.
So that means one of them will take 3, and then another one will take 3. Interestingly enough, you roll 3 6s for one of them. You get 1 6. He stays alive.
Right.
And then, because of your elemental thingamajig, because that unit are within 6-inch range of your elemental there. So you need a 6. You haven't made any of these so far, just 1 6.
I'm not going to say anything, because I will definitely jinx it if I do.
That's it.
No.
So one of them dies, and then the second shot does 3 damage on the second suit. And he dies as well. 2 of the suits die. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. I love it. Carnage and death from the Tyranid lines. Now let's fire the Tyrannifex down at that Riptide, who's also unkillable. I need 4s to hit. And I hit 3 times this time, and I need 3s to wound because it's strength 10. And 3 wounds get through on the Riptide. He has got that 3-up invulnerable save though. Yep. And then he has got a shield drone next to him, or shield missile drone next to him. 1 gets through.
Okay.
Shielded missile drone?
Yep.
And that saves it. That Riptide, that's it. You saved the 5-up invulnerable save.
Yeah, let's see if he ignores the wound. No. Alright, so the drones are gone.
Yes.
But he saved the Riptide.
That's 3 turns in a row. I've fired a rupture cannon at that Riptide, and he's still standing there. It took him a couple of turns to get his aim in and actually kill a few things, but so far he's been unkillable. Right, that's the end of my shooting phase. A couple of suits down, some Pathfinders down. Now we're going to charge with these Gene Stealers. 1 minute. Can I take that back? I don't want to charge.
You don't want to charge at all?
I just want to stand there hissing menacingly at you because they've got 9 shots because of him. They've got 15 shots because of him, and then there's a lot of shots is what I'm saying, hitting on 5s, and I didn't get Catalyst on them. So I strongly suspect with all the firepower coming in, you're going to wipe them out. And I don't want you to kill them in my phase. I'd rather you spend time and effort in your phase actually killing them. So they're not going to charge. They're going to stand there and hiss.
Look, brothers, the Xenosphere fears us.
Yes, that's exactly
what's going on. Watch them cower. We can still win.
Hive Fleet Behemoth. The Hive Mind is telling them no. Hold. Hold. The psychic wave did not secure them this turn. In fact, all across the line, Hive Fleet Kraken stands firm, doesn't advance. And that's the end of my turn 3. I don't know if you've got a... No, your leadership is 9 because you're next to the Ethereal there, so you don't have any morale test to take. I didn't kill enough Pathfinders for them to fail a morale test as well. So yes, at the end of turn 3, I score nothing. The Hive Mind, after charging forward, steps back and waits cautiously for a turn. I have started to defend this objective here. So now let's go on to Tau. Turn 3. Here are the Tau orders in turn 3. They want to kill one of the big monsters with Big Game Hunter. Take out something with a fly keyword still, with Scour the Skies. And orders received for the Warlord, Witch Hunter. Basically, if the Warlord kills a witch, kills one of my psychers, he gets a point for Witch Hunter, plus 3 points for getting orders received. So there's 4 points in it if the Warlord of the Tau manages to take out one of my HQs. Here we are after the Tau movement phase, and the commander has priority orders received, kill a witch, and he's zipped all the way over here. He's a cold star, so he can move a long way. And if he kills that, that's 1 point for killing the witch, plus 3 points for getting those priority orders. 4 points in it. Remember, it's 4 points to 1 right now. I'll be defending, so that'll be 6 points to 1. If you get that, that's 6 points to 5. You'll be right back in it. I like it. Good move. And then up here, the Pathfinders and the Fire Warriors consolidating into this area of terrain. And over here, the Ethereal this time, with his invocation of the elements, is nominated Storm of Fire. So all the suits stood still. So battle suit units this turn will get to re-roll hit rolls of 1. Sorcerer Dave spending another command point on Branched Overcharge on the Riptide, so he's got a 3-up invulnerable save, and his weapon is boosted one more time. So it looks like the Tau are digging their heels in, being prepared to fire lots and lots of guns down, and the Cold Star Commander is about to make an impact. Let's go on to the shooting phase. So we're starting on the right flank. Now what Sorcerer Dave really wants to do is kill the Gene Stealers with some of these shots, so that the rest of them can fire into the Neurothrope along with the Cold Star suit. So what are we firing first, sir?
Well, the Fireblade here, he's going to point his laser designator Markalite jobby at these guys.
They're hissing at you.
I can at least get a reroll ones.
Okay, so they're hissing at you though.
Not hissing at me, but...
He will be scared. He'll roll a 2 again.
I wonder if they're like cats. Do they get confused if you point the laser thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Alright,
big red laser, let's chase it.
This will hit on 3s.
Yes. Oh, he hit this time. Okay.
So rerolling 1s on those guys now.
Right.
So now...
Yes.
Let's do these 3 Fire Warriors.
4 Pathfinders. I've got 5 Pathfinders or 3 Fire Warriors. I would fire the 5 Pathfinders in at them because that's 15 shots with him.
True.
And then you could fire the Fire Warriors at them because I don't think 9 shots for the Fire Warriors will be enough to kill 4 Gene Stealers with a 5-up invulnerable save. 9 shots, hitting on 4s, rerolling what you get about 5 or 6 hits in, then wounding, and then saves.
Right.
What do we do?
Pathfinders it is.
Pathfinders it is. 15 shots because of the
Fireblade
buff. 4s to hit.
Rerolling any 1s.
There's no 1s, but that's an impressive array of hits there. 11 hits. Strength 5, toughness 4. You're wounding on 3s. So, I've got 6 saves to make. 5-up invulnerable save. You want me to fail more than 3. I pass 2. Fail 4. That's the Gene Stealers wiped out. Perfectly, economically perfect. Now it means the 9 shots can go into the Neurothrope. Perfect.
Yep, and Markalites from these drones.
Ah, you're going to send them in first.
Yep.
I like it. That's tactics, that is. Good. So they hit on 5s, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And you get 1 in. So 9 guys there, firing in at the Neurothrope, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. And then hopefully you tickle him, and then the Cold Star suit takes him out. These guys that survive the charge from the Hormagaunts and the Carnifex and everything might end up helping you get 4 points here. Who would have thunk it?
I thought they would be dead by now.
So did I.
Dead by now. Not a lot of Fire Warriors survive a Carnifex and a brood of Hormagaunts.
No. Okay.
Alright, here we go.
4s. And re-roll that 1.
Okay.
It didn't help.
4
shots get through. 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds. 2 3-up invulnerable saves. Do they help? Yes, they do. They chipped a wound off of him. Right, now we're on to the Cold Star Commander, who rudely jumped on one of the 13th there, firing everything at the Neurothrope. Now, all of his weapons are assault weapons?
Yes.
And you advance. So you're hitting on 3s instead of 2s. What gun are we starting with?
High capacity burst cannon.
Okay, 8 shots. 3s to hit. And there's a couple of 2s. So that was 5 hits. This is strength 5 or 6? Anyway, I'm toughness 4. Yeah, wounding on 3s. That's 4 wounds. 4 3-up invulnerable saves. He takes 2 more wounds. He's down to 2 left. Interesting. What's next?
Missile pod up next.
Okay, 3s.
3s rolling winning 1s. Oh, wow.
And now you need to hit with a fusion unless you spend a command point.
Your dice really are cursed, mate.
They're not
number
cursed.
of 2s. Anyway.
Do you want a command point reroll that?
If I do, I won't be able to use focused fire later in this turn.
Okay.
So I'd rather not.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pin everything on the...
On the one-shot fusion. He's got the Honor Gauntlet as well, so you could go wheeling in there and punch him.
That's true. That would put me dangerously close to that Broodlord, however, so if we can avoid it, that would be nice.
He just wants a hug.
That's what I'm afraid of. Alright, here we go. 3s rerolling 1s. No pressure.
And that's a 2. Okay, Sorcerer Dave, are you sure you don't want a command point re-roll that before we go on to any more shooting?
I think I will.
Okay.
Because it's 4 points potentially. I do have to get past your 3 up invuln, but it's probably more useful to me 4 victory points than getting an extra +1 to win against
It's
Tyranids,
worth so much. So 3's to hit. Command point reroll coming up. And that's a 6.
Hit. Right.
Right, now you need a wound.
So
2d6. Oh no.
Strength 8.
Yes. Toughness 4. We want a 2. That wounds. Now I need to make a 3 up invulnerable save. Or potentially gift you 4 points. And I make the save. From the right flank of the battle grid to the left side of the battle grid where the Riptide is in trouble, he's horrified, so instead of hitting on 4s, he's going to be hitting on 5s. But the Venom Thropes are -1 to hit any Tyranid unit within 6 inches. So instead of hitting on 5s, we'll be hitting this squad and this squad on 6s. And so long as there's a unit of 3 of them, it's -1 to hit monsters as well. So basically the Riptide is going to be hitting on 6s. My entire army here. And he can't shoot at the characters over there because they're characters. So the Riptide is significantly nerfed. Unless you kill one of the Venom Thropes. Venom Thropes have that -1 to hit all the time. And if there's a unit of 3 or more, it's -1 to hit on monsters as well. So you're going to put some shots into the Venom Thropes finally.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's a fusion gun from this squad of 2 going into the little bugs. And then 2 plasmas and a missile pod reaching out and trying to hit the Venom Thropes. But you're hitting on 5s because they're -1 to hit naturally. So what are we firing first?
Alright, well,
Plasma or missile?
we'll do the... We'll start with the missile.
Yes, okay.
So that's 2 shots.
Yes. 5
Hitting on
sticks.
5s, and we're re-rolling 1s thanks to Storm of Fire on that.
Right,
at the
okay.
very
I like
least.
it.
So
1 hit.
1 hit.
Strength.
7.
Toughness 4. And
Does
that's a wound. AP.
-1.
-1. Now these guys only have a 5 up save, so I need a 6. Which I don't get. And how much damage does it do?
D3.
They got 3 wounds each. So
Alright,
you've already used a command point reroll
Come on.
earlier on in the shooting phase.
do this. Yes!
Oh yes. So you wipe out one of the Venom Thropes. Nice stuff. I might as well take the back one now. Because that's not -1 to hit my big monsters anymore. And then 2 plasma shots come in as well. 5s to hit. And 3s to wound. And I don't get a save, and that does 1 damage.
Yep.
Now the Riptide firing. A fusion gun did manage to kill one of these bugs, even though you were hitting on 6s. And then the big gun is firing at the Exocrine, hitting on 5s now, because you're horrified with 6 shots, because you're all overcharged and stuff.
Yep.
And you do get to reroll that 1. 3 hits. That was remarkably successful.
Yeah.
Strength.
Right. Strength is 8.
8. Toughness 8 on an Exocrine.
4 ups.
2 wounds.
Nice.
-3, you say? So 2 6s. I failed them both. That's 2d3 damage on the Exocrine. And that is 4 damage on the Exocrine. It's down to 8 wounds left. Right, then the second squad, Crisis Team Air, the only thing you could reach out and touch were the little bugs, and despite them having a -1 to hit, you killed away quite a lot from the front screen there, and the Pathfinders wounded and killed one of the bugs over here. So the front screen falling, that's the end of the shooting phase. The Venom Thropes taking hits, the Exocrine taking hits, the Gene Stealers wiped out. Now we're on to the charge phase. Yes, tower charging. The Cold Star Commander, just don't roll snake eyes, and he is in on the Neurothrope. Good luck, sir. Right, he's in with a 6.
Okay.
He gets in there, which is dangerously close to the Broodlord. But this is worth 4 points if you do this.
These guys,
Yes.
they may be joining him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason being,
3 up invulnerable save. That's the reason being.
yeah, that plus it's a few more meat shields between the commander and the broodlord
That's a good
potentially.
point.
So,
That's a good point.
um,
Okay, so let's roll up for this second squad here, see if they can get in.
No.
4, they're not in. Pathfinders, you need something long.
I'll
12.
do it.
12, the Pathfinders definitely get in. Let's move them in there. Right, the Pathfinders make it in. Right, let's fight. Who's starting out?
Okay, we'll do the Pathfinders first.
Okay, 5 Pathfinders. Hit on 5s. Because they're Tau. You get 3 hits. Oh, they're angry. Strength, Tau, Toughness, Tyranid, wounding on 5s. They do get 2 wounds through. Will all the Pathfinders kill the Neurothrope? 2 3-up and vulnerable saves. Yes, they will, yes, they unless do. I command point reroll one of them, and I have to do it. I've got 4 left. My Neurothrope is alive on 1 wound left. Now the commander just needs to kill him. He's got 4 attacks. 1 of them will be the Honor Guard Gauntlet, but 3 of them are his normal attacks, which hit on 3s.
Let's be fair, it was better for the story this way, I think.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? He charges in with the Honor Guard Gauntlet ready to strike, and then one of the Pathfinders tackles the thing right as he's about to land his punch. It doesn't really work. So
they've sort of shot him because they don't really fight, do they? They've probably peppered him with bullets at close range, which has wounded and stunned the Neurothrope. And now the commander clubs with his weapon arms. Is it you doing the Honor Guard first? Are you?
Yeah, let's save that till last if we need to.
Yeah,
right, so these will hit on 3s.
Yes. And he hits with everyone. And he's strength 5, toughness 4. He gets 3 wounds in. 3 3-up and vulnerable saves. 1 wound left. I've already burnt a command point. And I fail it. The Neurothrope falls. I imagine he does an overhead swing with the Honor Guard Gauntlet, and just that brain just goes pop and smears everywhere. And that, for killing the witch and priority orders received, that's 4 points. Now that's the end of Tau turn 3. Looking across the table, I don't have any morale tests to take. This little chap is within 18 inches range of my synaptic linchpin here. Otherwise that could have been dangerous. Right, it was 4 points to 1. I get 2 points for scoring this, making it 6 points to 1. You get 4 points for killing the Neurothrope, 6 points to 5. And you've scoured the skies, he's got the fly keyword. It's 6 points to 6 at the end of Tau turn 3. Suddenly it's a draw. Is there hope for this Tau force yet? Let's go on to Tyranids, turn 4. Right, I ditched advance last turn, and here are the orders from the Hive Mind. Assassinate, kill a character. Big Game Hunter, kill that Riptide. And Blood and Guts, kill something in the assault phase. In the fight phase, just kill. It's 6 points to 6, and I just remembered that I left my Raveners in reserve, and it's turn 4, so they can't come on the battlefield, and they count as destroyed. So that sucks, but those are the rules, and it's got to sting, right? It's got to hurt. So that's the only way you remember these things, though it seems to keep happening to me a surprisingly high number of times. But they are only Raveners. It's not like I've left 2 Lords of Contagion off the table or anything like that. I mean, who would do such a thing? That'd be very embarrassing. So the Raveners are dead. What I imagine is the Crisis suits and the Cold Star Commander was picking them off from orbit, from high up above. And so they didn't manage to make it onto this battle grid. That's how I'm selling it to myself anyway. So the Broodlord's coming up for a swipe. The Warlord as well is coming up for a swipe, making sure I advanced this way so my smites hit the Cold Star suit. His smites will hit the Pathfinders, unfortunately. Bugs coming in to support them as well. And then back here, again, there's no point in charging that big squad down there. Instead, I'm much better off shooting at that big squad. So let's do a bit of nerfing with the horror. I think I'm better off horrifying the squad with all the burst cannons at the back there. That's 14 or 12 shots coming in with those burst cannons, because I've got a lot of little bugs left. And rate of fire I'm more worried about. Mind you, then he's going to fire. The Riptide is going to fire at my Exocrine and kill him. And you've got Big Game Hunter in your hand. No, I'm going to have to horrify the Riptide. Horrify the Riptide, and he is 6. That passes, so it's -1 to hit the Riptide one more time. And then my Neurothrope will smite. And that passes. It does D3 mortal wounds for 1 mortal wound. And I think it hits your Pathfinders. So that was the first smite. Second thing I'm going to do is Psychic Scream on the Pathfinders. It'll hit the Pathfinders. That passes. It'll do D3 mortal wounds on the Pathfinders for 2 dead Pathfinders around here. And then this Neurothrope, my Warlord, will smite. I need a 6. That passes. D3 mortal wounds on the Cold Star suit for 2 mortal wounds on the Commander. Then it looks like this. Then the Termagants are going to unload on those Pathfinders. Only 9 of them are in line of sight and range. That was remarkably successful. The Termagants managed to wipe them out. And then over here, this unit of Termagants firing into the outpost there managed to wipe out the other Pathfinders, which was great. So now we're on to the big guns. The Exocrine is going to fire at that unit of Crisis Suits one more time, spending another command point on Pathogenic Slime, getting my damage up to 3 from 2. 12 shots hitting on 3s. 9 hits, wounded on 3s. And that was 6 wounds. 6 wounds. 6 4-up and vulnerable saves because of the shield generators. Good luck, sir. You've passed 1. Just 1. Oh dear. So that front Crisis Suit just got exploded there. Now the Tranifex firing out the Riptide. Neat Big Game Hunter, forced to hit. 3 hits. Strength 10. Just 1 wound. 1 3-up invulnerable save on the Riptide again.
I'll try it again.
No. Do you want to put it on the drone?
Yep, I will. 2+. Yep. Does the drone survive?
It's cocked.
Thoroughly cocked.
No, it doesn't. Dead drone. So again, 4 rounds of shooting from a Rupture Cannon from a Tyrannovex, and the Riptide's still alive. Right, that's the end of my shooting phase. Now we're going to charge, and the Termagants are going to eat the Overwatch and charge the Cold Star Suit first, and then the Broodlord will try and get in there. And interestingly enough, the little bugs make it in without suffering any casualties to Overwatch, and then the Broodlord got in there as well, and now you're playing a stratagem?
I am indeed. It's called Repulsor Impact Field. It's costing me 1 of my 2 remaining command points.
Right.
And you use it after an enemy unit successfully charges a battle suit.
Okay.
And basically we roll the dice for each model in the enemy unit within 3 inches of my unit.
Okay.
And on a 6, that model suffers mortal wounds.
9 guys there. So within 3.
So 6s,
yes.
mortal wounds.
Yes.
We get 1.
Kill a bug. And on a 6 on the Broodlord, I guess.
I think it's only for them.
Only for the unit that made the first charge. Otherwise,
roll the dice for each model in the enemy unit. Yeah. So it was targeted at them specifically.
Yeah. Otherwise, then you'd have to play the same stratagem again in the same phase.
Exactly.
We can't do that. So that's where we end up. You killed 1. Nice. That was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, a little bit.
And now the Broodlord will fight you. The Broodlord will swing first for vengeance for killing one of the Hive Mind's Neurothropes last turn. Broodlords have 6 attacks. They hit on 2s. And everything hit. And it's Strength 5 versus Toughness 5. So I'm winning on 4s, but they get to reroll wounds with these weapons. It's all AP good, but you have a 4-up and vulnerable save. So I get 4 wounds through. So 4-up and vulnerable saves. There's 4 wounds left on that Cold Star Commander. The Warlord of the town. Can he survive a charge from a Broodlord? 4 4-up and buns.
I almost don't want to look. Yes!
Yes, he can. Then the little bugs went piling into the Cold Star Suit and did no damage. And that means I don't get Assassinate. That means I don't get Blood and Guts. That means I don't get Slay the Warlord or Avenge that Neurothrope from dying last turn. And he can fall back and shoot because he's got the fly keyword. And now he can fight back. Broodlord or bugs? Where do you want to put your attacks?
Broodlord.
Broodlord, okay.
Yep.
So 3 attacks, normal attacks. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. 2 hits. No wounds. And then the Onaga Punch Doom thing. 3s to hit with that.
Engineered during the Damocles Golf Crusade for punching tanks. This
was it?
So, yeah,
nice.
Let's see if we can punch a Broodlord with it.
3. That's a hit. And strength 10, right? I'm toughness 5, so it's a 2 to wound. I can't see.
I've rolled a 1.
No. And so at the end of that phase, the Tyranids score 0 points. I have wiped out another squad of Crisis Suits, but it looks like the Hive Mind are consolidating, are hanging back here. 0 points. It's 6 points each. This battle is resting on a knife edge. Let's go on to Tau, turn 4. Here are the tower objectives. I'll not lie, they're tough. Secure objective 1 is open, but there's a lot of Tyranids nearby. Big Game Hunter, kill one of the monsters in the backfield. The Exocrine's only on 8 wounds left, but the Riptide is horrified. He'll be hitting on 5s. And for the greater good, control an objective that I controlled for D3 points. That one's tough as well. Here we are after the town movement phase. Now Sorcerer Dave can't take an objective that I previously held. There's Big Game Hunter, kill one of these things. And there's objective 1. Now the Cold Star suit could have hopped up and over and scored objective 1 and potentially got Big Game Hunter as well. Potentially that would have been 2 points for, sorry, not Big Game Hunter, but for Warlord. 1 for scoring objective 1 and 1 for killing a Warlord. 2 points. But then potentially given up the Broodlord charging him. He was lucky last turn against the charge, but if I charged him and killed him, then I would get 2 points, 1 for blood and guts and 1 for killing the Warlord. So it was a zero-sum game. Instead, he's fallen back. Using the fly keyword, he can now put all of his shots down into the Broodlord and get rid of that significant threat. And,
some may call it cowardice. However,
yes,
the thing is, I think going over there would be suicide.
Yes.
I cannot possibly roll another 4 6s like last time.
You know, I like what you said to me off camera, which is we're not Imperium, we're not stupid, going flying in there, going for the Emperor and all that. We're Tau.
Yeah, we don't.
So we're not
especially after what I was talking about at the very start of the video about how I don't like it when people do kamikaze commanders all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I did it now.
Yes.
So the point is, a Tau commander like this, he represents such a huge investment on the part of the Tau Empire, like in terms of time, in terms of technology, in terms of money, and throwing himself away like that, it's just not something he'd do.
But it's 2 points.
Yeah.
And he might be able to survive the charge from the Broodlord again, maybe.
Maybe.
Instead, he just wants to hop up and kill the Broodlord, backed up by the Fire Warriors and the Cadra Fireblade, everything closer to the Broodlord there. So it looks like the Broodlord could be in trouble. And then over here, the Riptide and the Crisis Suits are moving forward because there's a fusion gun on that Crisis Suit, which is now in range of the Exocrine. The other guys are outside of range, 18-inch range on the fusion gun, so they can't reach out and touch the Exocrine yet. So looking for Big Game Hunter here. Let's go on to the shooting phase. So the Ethereal doing Sense of Stone one more time, giving the 6 up, feel no pain thing. You're using your last command point on what?
Branched Nova Charge for the final time.
So that Riptide's got 3 up and vulnerable save, and he's overcharged his big gun.
So he's going to pop down to 7 wounds,
7
unless
wounds.
I can roll that 6 up for the Ethereal
Yes.
for once. I did!
You do?
Okay,
Okay.
great. So he's on 8.
It finally worked. He's on 8 wounds. Right, the Cadre Fireblade firing at the Exocrine with his Marklight, hitting on a 2 finally, because he didn't move. Where are we? Oh, there's a 2.
We
There's
just
a 2.
managed it.
So you've lit up the Exocrine, re-rolling hit rolls of 1. Now we're firing the big gun from the Riptide in on the Exocrine. The fusion guns, even though they'll be hitting on 6s, are hitting the Venomthropes. So let's do the 6 shots with the big guns. 5s to hit because you're horrified. And re-rolling that 1, sir. That's 1 hit so far. Just 1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 8, wounding on a 4.
It is a
That's
wound.
a 4. Okay, need a 6 up save, which I make. On to the Crisis team. The back 2 are firing the fusion guns into the Venomthropes, the burst cannons into this little squad of Termagants here, and then the one in front is putting all of his shots into the Exocrine, trying to knock him down a bracket, trying to start chipping away at Big Game Hunter. So where are we starting?
We'll start with the burst cannon on this guy at
Okay.
Exocrine.
All right.
So 4 up, re-rolling 1s.
Yes. That's 2 hits. Strength 5, toughness 8. No wounds. And then the fusion flickers out and hits. And it's strength 8 versus toughness 8. I won't get a save.
4 up.
No, doesn't wound. The rest of the shots from the Crisis team also go wild. The Venomthropes doing their thing, so no damage caused at all by this little castle down here. That's unfortunate. Now over here, we did the marker light drones have hit twice into the Broodlord, so he's lit up. And now we're doing what? This team.
So I'm going to start with the Cadra Fireblade. Here.
Yes.
So he'll have 3 shots because his ability does affect himself.
Right.
And
He hits on 2s?
he does hit on 2s indeed.
And he rerolls 1s because he doesn't need to. Nice. Strength 5, toughness 5. So 2 wounds. Now I have a 4-up save. Broodlord takes a wound. And then we've got 9 shots with the 3 guys in front. Basically, rapid fire range plus an extra shot because of the Cadre Fireblade. And these guys hit on 4s.
Rerolling 1s.
There's 1-1. That was still pretty good. That was 6 hits there. And it's strength 5 versus toughness 5. 2 wounds so far. 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves. He takes another wound. He's lost 2 wounds so far. So the Broodlord's down to 4 wounds left. Let's see if the commander can take him out. What are we doing? High outburst burst cannon?
Yep. High capacity burst cannon. I think that's what it's called anyway. Yep.
2s to hit. Rerolling 1s. What's the strength of this gun?
This is strength 5.
Okay, toughness 5. So everything hit. Forced to wound. That's 4 wounds. 4-up saves. He takes another wound. He's down to 3 wounds left. What's next?
Missile pod.
Okay. Both hit. Wound on 3.
7, so 3s.
No.
Oh dear.
So now it's down to that fusion.
It is.
Hits on a 2. Hits. Wound on a 3. Strength 8, toughness 5. Doesn't wound. You failed to take down the Broodlord.
We're in hot water now.
That's it for the Tau guns. They're not charging because they're Tau, so they score no points either. Mind you, said last turn they did manage to pull off a charge and get you lots and lots of points. So last turn was good. This turn, however, being a bit more cautious. Besides, he can fall back and shoot with a fly keyword, but he can't fall back and charge again. So that's the end of Tau turn 4. It's still 6 points each. Let's go on to Tyranids turn 5. In turn 4 I got rid of Assassinate because I thought the Cold Star suit might jump away and go a long way away. But this is what I pulled this turn. Kingslayer. Wipe out that Cold Star suit. Big Game Hunter. Kill the Riptide. Blood and Guts. Kill something in the assault phase. Here we are after the Tyranid movement phase. And if I kill this Cold Star suit, all I need to do is charge him. If I kill him, then that's Kingslayer plus Warlord, and that might be game at that point. And the little bugs making their way around there as well to put some pain into the last of the Fire Warriors that should have died quite a few turns ago in my synaptic linchpin. The beating brain of this bug force has also moved around, so I can get a smite in there as well. Meanwhile, around here, I need to get Big Game Hunter and take out the last of those suits. Right, Psychic phase. The Broodlord is casting Psychic Scream on the Cold Star suit. That passes on 11. I wish it was Smite. It'll do D3 mortal wounds. For 1, he's got 3 mortal wounds left. And now this Neurothrope will cast Smite on him. And that's a 6. That passes. And if I get a 5 or 6, this will be Slay the Warlord and Kingslayer, because this does D3 mortal wounds. Do I command point that? Mind you, there's no point. I'm going to charge in anyway, but you might kill him on Overwatch charging in. He's only got 3 wounds left. I've got 1 command point left. No, I don't command point that. That would be crazy. Then this Neurothrope will horrify the Riptide and re-roll 1s because he's a Neurothrope. And the Riptide is horrified 1 more time, so it's hitting on 5s 1 more time, and then he will smite that unit of Crisis suits, which passes for D3 mortal wounds, for 1 mortal wound on the Crisis suits, which you ignore on 6.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Opening up the shooting phase, this unit of bugs are firing in at the Fire Warriors. I've spent a command point on Scorch Bugs 1 more time, which means I +1 to wound rolls, but first I need to hit on 4s. And that's okay. That was 11 hits at strength 4, typically wounding on 3s, but with Scorch Bugs, wounding on 2s. And that's quite a lot of wounds. 8 4-up saves on these last noble, brave Fire Warriors. For the Emperor and all that. No, they're dead. After this unit of Termagants wiped out those Fire Warriors here, these 2 unit of Termagants unloaded into this Crisis Suit team here. Sorcerer Dave put the wound from the psychic power onto the guy in the Iridium battlesuit armor. So he had a 2-up save against this fusillade of attacks from the little bugs, but it wasn't enough to save him. He has fallen, which means there's 2 guys left. And now I'm going to fire the Exogreen at that unit of 2 Crisis Suits. One of the suits dies and one of the suits goes down to 1 wound left. And now I'm going to fire the Tyranifex at the Riptide. So that is 4 shots and I hit on 4s. And this time I get 3 hits through. Strength 10, I will wound on 3s. I get 2 wounds through, 2 3-up invulnerable saves on your Riptide. Looking for big game hunter here. He's got 7 or 8 wounds left. But he has got a 3-up. And you pass both of the saves there. He's alive. He's alive again. And that's the end of my shooting phase. So killing some suits, killing some fire warriors. Now let's charge. The Termagants made it into the Cadre Fireblade. Now the Broodlord needs to weather the Overwatch shot from the Cold Star battlesuit. So is he hitting on 5s or hitting on 6s when he...
He'll be hitting on 5s because there is a friendly unit within 6 inches of him.
Okay, brilliant stuff. So let's fire the big gun.
Horse cannon?
5s to hit. And that's 3 hits. Wounding on 4s.
Okay.
1 wound. 1 4-up save. Yes, I make the save. Missile pods.
Yeah.
Hitting on 5s. No, and the fusion. This is the one I'm worried about. Don't do it. No. That's a miss. And then the Broodlord charges in. Don't roll snake eyes. We are in. And we end up here, right, one more time with the Broodlord for Blood and Guts. For Kingslayer. How many wounds has he got left? 1. 2s to hit. That's 5 hits. Strength 5 versus toughness 5, but I get to re-roll to wound. Everything wounds. Everything's AP stupid, but you need basically to make all 5 4-up invulnerable saves to keep your Warlord alive, or I will break the back of this Tau force. 5 4-ups. Good luck.
How hard could it be? No.
And that's Slay the Warlord, and that is Kingslayer.
I win!
And then the Termagants swung at the Cadre Fireblade, doing 1 wound. He put 1 wound back on the Termagants, and that is the end of Hive Fleet Kraken's turn 5. I do get a point for Blood and Guts, and I get D3 points, and a point for Slay the Warlord, so that's 2 points in the lead, plus D3 points for Kingslayer for 2 more points. So it's 10 points to 6 in favour of Hive Fleet Kraken. Let's go on to Tau, turn 5. Here are the Tau orders in turn 5. Secure objective 3, Big Game Hunter, and for the greater good. And as we look across the battle grid before the start of turn 5, the Tau will retreat, will fall back. And this is the way the world ends. So Sorcerer Dave is conceding here because even if he kills the Exocrine and takes objective 3, that'll be 2 points. He'll still be 2 points behind. Then the Broodlord can get Line Breaker, and next turn my Psychic Might and my shooting in, the Crisis Suit will be dead. Basically all you'll have left really is a Cadre Fireblade and some marker drones locked up. Possibly the Riptide left. You're running out of assets. She said to me if the Cold Star guy had stayed alive, then potentially there was hope.
Yeah, I think if he was still around, because he's got a decent amount of firepower, he hits on 2s, he can move across half the table in a turn.
Yes.
Like, that still gives you options.
Yes.
You can use them you can jump in next to a character and snipe them, like the Warlord over there.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, I think I still would have had options then, and yeah, losing him, I think it's put the final nail in the coffin. At this point, the Tau, they can recognise a losing situation when they see the Ethereal and the remaining Cadre Fireblade over here are like, right, we have lost this, we need to get out of here now. Particularly, they're going to want to protect the Ethereal.
Yes.
We did lose another Ethereal in the previous battle, so
you don't want to lose
repeat that, yeah.
Exactly. I think what happened there was, there's a couple of things that happened. Losing first turn, so I was able to get up there by seizing the initiative, was a big thing. And another big thing that really helped me, which I didn't realise how much it would help me at the start, was the horror psychic power.
Yes.
-1 to hit again and again and again on that Riptide. And also, let's not forget, in the first 2 rounds of shooting with the Riptide, he didn't do very much damage at all. It took him a while for him to clear the blue screen of death on his targeting systems.
He did not carry his weight at all the first couple of turns.
He didn't.
But also, the horror plus the venom throats was just brutal.
I told you to kill the venom throats.
Yeah, that's before I knew what they actually did.
Okay.
So,
I think as well, when you dropped everyone in here, that was a good move. But what I did was just stay back. I waited for you to come to me because I didn't want to feed you units that would just die in my turn.
Yeah.
And instead shifted our fight this way. And it could have gone one way or the other. The commander coming in and charging and killing that and getting so many points and then surviving the first charge, round 1 with the Broodlord. Round 2, though, not so lucky. Particularly with a Psychic Might that comes in and hits them as well. Tau have no psychic defense and it really stings.
Yeah, I'm a little bit amazed at how long that flank actually held in the end.
Yeah.
Because I'd kind of given up on it at one point. C'est la vie, if it falls, it falls. And it just didn't in spite of itself. So I'm quite proud of these guys, even though much of them are dead now.
Heroes were made over here. This guy can fall back, can run away with the drones covering his retreat and live to fight another day, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they'll do. They'll swarm in, tie up all of these guys, and he can make his escape. Hide maybe with that camo cloak of his. We'll see him again. He was pretty badass.
In the end, it was heroic stuff from the Tau, the Cold Star suit, dropping down with his crisis suits in order to deliver death to Hive Fleet Kraken, but it was not enough. My Psychic Might keeping me safe. And in the end, it was a victory for Hive Fleet Kraken. So we'll wrap it up here. Just a reminder, this battle mat and these scenery come from urbanmats.com. Check them out. If you want to watch any more Winter's SEO battle reports, then you can join us on deploymentzone.tv, www.deploymentzone.tv, where there's more battle reports and narrative campaigns and tutorials and, not tutorials, Tacticas. There will be tutorials coming, Tactica series coming, all sorts of things on there. These dice also available on deploymentzone.tv as well. Thank you, Sorcerer Dave, for coming down. You're a legend.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. Pleasure is all mine. And don't forget to check out Sorcerer Dave's YouTube channel or check him out on Twitch. That's it. Thank you everyone for watching. You are all legends. Thank you for lending me your ears. Happy wargaming.